What is this thing? This is complete and utter madness. Can somebody please tell me what the is going on? Yes. It's Boxing Talk with Raphie. It's Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And what edition are we on? View on YouTube. What edition are we on? Okay. Sound check complete. Got a little recovering from a little bit of a cold, minor cold, nothing major, nothing life-threatening. But we have begun. It's the first of January 2020, the first day of 2020, and we are live with Boxing Talk with Raphie, episode, where are we? 82. Starting off the new year as we mean to go on. Okay, so who we got in the building? We got the Big Boys Boxing. Big Boys Boxing in the building. We got Will. What's going on? John Daly up in the building. Smash that like button on the way in. We have the Lisa Bayliss. Lisa Bayliss up in the building. The lovely Lisa. Happy New Year to Lisa Bayliss. Happy New Year to one and all of you currently in, and all of the people making their way in. Okay, so Boxing Talk with Raphie. This is the place. If you've not come here before, this is a place where we talk all things boxing and beyond. Boxing and beyond. Yes, indeed. Okay, so where do I start? I was going to start with a warm-in video. Marla up in the building. I was going to start with a warm-in video, but I see people are making their way in. Matter of fact, where's my manners? Let me put the link in the chat. Boom. Okay, so you should see it there now. Link is in the chat. Okay, it's the first show of 2020. What can I say? Let's get some FaceTime going. Okay, yeah, there we are. Okay, so, yeah. We're going to be talking. What's the topics? What are the topics? Let me look over. Yeah, the description box is full. Makes a pleasant change. Okay, we're looking at Anthony Joshua's statement. Says he blasts Wilder out in 6. We're looking at the best of the year. Best boxer. You're nominating your best boxer of the year. You're nominating your best fighter of the decade. Does Crawford really want Porter? Crawford Porter. Yeah. Does Porter want Crawford? Is Gervonta Davis Is he one of the top sellers? Has he got some of the best numbers in the game right now? Tyson Fury goes in a tirade against the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Where is he? Where's the Bronze Bomber? Is he in hiding? What's happening with the Bronze Bomber? Okay, back over to StreamYard. Okay, so what have I learned? What have I learned in 2020? I've learned, well, it's interesting. It's interesting. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, learned many things. I don't know how to spell that name. How does one say that name? What's the translation on the screen right there? What have I learned? What have I learned in 2019? I've learned a lot. Learned a hell of a lot. Taking on the responsibilities of running the channel. Taking on the responsibilities of running the channel. Damn, a lot of people are just coming at time constraints that come along with that. I think time management, trying to do more with less time. Because if you're doing more, you got less time. Trying to do more with less time, but it's a challenge. It's an interesting challenge, and a challenge which I have accepted. I've accepted the challenge. Trying to do more in less time. The skill acquisition. Every new thing that you do with the channel becomes a task. It's a skill acquisition task. John Daly up in the building. John Daly is on mute. Okay. John Daly, when you come back, let me know. In the meantime, what we're looking at here. I agree. But less rounds. Joshua in 5.
Raphie.
Yes. John Daly up in the building. It's 2020.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year 2020. We're in a new decade now. We're in a new decade.
It's a scary decade for me, this one.
Why is this?
At some point in this decade, I'm going to hit the big 5-0.
Woo!
Not yet. Not yet. I've got a few years yet.
It's the time. What this thing is made me acutely aware of is time. This thing, this channel, having to put the work in. Let me put the link in the chat again. Having to put the work in. It's time. It's just made me so aware of how I've always known the time is precious, but it's made me acutely aware of how precious time is. I'll come back to you in a second, John. Junior, up in the building. Yes, happy new year to you. John Toby Bartlett, up in the building. Crawford needs some big names in 2020. It's going to start affecting his reputation. And the link is in the chat. Happy New Year to one and all. Yeah, it's just made me acutely aware of time and how precious. Got a cold, folks. A little bit of a cold. That's why I might sound a little bit nasally. Of how precious it is when it just keeps on slipping through your fingers. You got a tight deadline. You got deadline. We got deadlines, John.
Yeah. There's always deadlines.
Always.
Time management can't be too good. It's just a journey. You just need to get better and better at it.
Yeah.
Best you can hope for.
Yes. I think I'm getting better at it.
If you're better at it, you're winning.
Yeah, getting better at it, but always can be better. Happy New Year, says Cal L. Yeah, salute to the combat radio and combat radio combatants, the soldiers. Where we at? Time flies once you have kids, for sure, no doubt about it. And then put a channel on top of that, and you have to feed the people. Damn. Time is constantly on my mind. Always on my mind. Okay, so Happy New Year, one and all. Salute, one and all. And now we commence with the show. I've got my uplighting. I don't know why it's come up on that. Why is that? Okay, Okay. All right, I'm in the right place. Let us, what time is it? Okay, let us commence with the show. We've done the introductions. Link is in the description box. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let me get my bearings and let's get into the first topic. Let me try and find it. Let me see what we're doing here. Where are we? I do think Tyson Fury will. Don't know if we're gonna deal with that. What we got here? Might come to that later. Okay, I know exactly where we're gonna start. Let me share my screen. Yes, Tunde is up in the building. Happy New Year to you also, Tunde. What is the article? Nope. Okay. A little pop. When I hear a little pop, that means somebody has joined. It's a new thing. with StreamYard. They give you a little pop to let you know that someone has entered the studio. Big Boys Boxing. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, gentlemen. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. And good to talk some boxing again. Sorry about the background noise. My neighbors have got leaf blowers and all sorts going.
I just heard the airplane. Yes, very good indeed. It was nice and calm, nice and mellow. It's good to have some time. Good to have some chill time, some relaxation time. Just chilled. I just chilled, How about you, John?
Yeah, man, I'm the same. I'm still chilling.
Yeah. This is my last day of chilling. And then it's back, shoulder back to the wheel, back on the grind. How about you, John Dealey? How's your Christmas?
It was good Christmas, Raphie.
Yeah.
Chilled.
Yep.
But I had 2 days after gym all Christmas. I've been in today.
Hey, I just know. When I say I've chilled, I have chilled.
Yeah,
I have chilled. I have properly chilled. I was gonna go in today, and I just felt some kind of. I've been bowling. I say I've chilled. I've been doing some activities, but out of the gym activities. And the day flew by, house, domestic chores, etc. Next thing you know, it's like 2 hours to the show. I said, okay, you know what? Just stay and deal with the matter. Okay, so I'm looking for this article. that I want to deal with. Got too many windows open. Have I found it? Yeah, I found it. There it is. There it is. Let me move this along now. Let me develop a system where I know exactly where the thing is. There it is. Let me share my screen. Okay. Boom. 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 Okay, so Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez is being pursued by Saudi Arabia. A lot of people have already seen my video on this one. Some of you may not. Okay, so Saudi Arabia has made an offer to stage a lightweight unification clash between Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, according to Bob Arum. The top-ranked promoter says that the deal has been agreed for the fight to go ahead and will happen in April if it takes place in the United States. The rival Madison Square Gardens and the Barclays Center are the most likely sites, one or the other. So that will be in April if it's in the United States. However, Saudi Arabia apparently has put in a bid, says Bob Arum. And if it takes place over in Saudi, then it'll be more likely to be at the end of May, since they'll have Ramadan going on over there until the 23rd of May. So if it's in the US, it will be April. And if not, if it's in Saudi, it will be towards the end of May. Okay, so that's interesting news. Interesting news. Interesting development. Look like the lighter guys now might be getting some love, might be getting some shine, some Saudi Arabia love in the desert. Yeah, they might be getting some desert love. Is there anything else I want to say about this? Well, you've seen the video. You know, the Lomachenko is a double Olympic champion and a three-weight world champion, not heavyweight, three-weight world champion from the Ukraine. And over here, he's already got the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF titles. So you'll be looking to take Lopez on, claim the IBF. Lopez claimed the IBF in December with a second round stoppage of Richard Comey. And excuse me, Lomachenko doesn't have the IBF. He does not have the IBF. That belongs to Lopez. Okay. While both men have only had 15 professional bouts, there's a huge gulf in experience betwixt the two. Lomachenko, obviously, being a two-time Olympic gold medalist, 2008 and 2012, that's Beijing and London, whereas Lopez, who currently lives in New York, originally from Honduras, competed at the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, and where he lost in the opening round to Teofimo Omiya, the eventual silver medalist from France. So Lopez says, Bob Arum says, Lopez says Lomachenko has all these young guys waiting to face him. The Lopez fight will be one hell of a fight. When asked whether Lopez was ready to face a boxer of the like of Lomachenko, Arum replied, Lopez thinks he is. Lopez thinks he's ready. Lopez is the type of fighter that can really surprise people. I was shocked with the Comey fight. I thought that was going to be a long, tough ride, says Bob Arum. Let me stop sharing now. Come out to that. Head over here. Okay, I'm back in the studio with you. So, Lomachenko, Big Boys Boxing, Lomachenko and Lopez might be getting some Saudi Arabia love in the sand.
Money talks, man. They got that oil money and if they're going to pay a good purse, I can't see why not go to Saudi Arabia. I've heard a few people talking about, screw Saudi Arabia. I don't want to watch it at 4 o'clock in the morning or, 4 in the afternoon, guys from the States. But I'm used to it. I'm in New Zealand. We don't get many fights down here, so it don't make no difference to me where it is. I'll get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll get up at midnight. I don't care what time it is. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I don't think it really. I don't think it impacts us negatively over here in the UK. Actually, I prefer it over in Saudi because that means it'll be coming on most likely sometime like the same time as the Joshua fight that took place. Something
8 or 9.
Yeah. I think it was somewhere 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect for me. Absolutely perfect.
It's good for us old farts.
Yeah, well, hey, we need our sleep. We need our recuperation.
Yeah.
John D. Lee.
Well, I'd like it to be in Saudi. I'm just a bit skeptical about it. When Eddie did the deal for Saudi, nobody heard anything until the deal was done. And I feel like it's some cheap publicity because Bob Aaron's a very...
Man. You are a skeptical man, John Daly.
Bob Arum is a very crafty, wily old guy, and he knows the game. It's just
I can't say that had not crossed my mind, John. Can't say it hadn't crossed my mind.
Because just looking at it, Loma's best ticket sales are in New York.
Yeah.
And Teofimo Lopez is a Brooklyn. I don't know if he's a native, but he definitely lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I just think he's done it to get a bit of shine on the fight.
I think so.
I'm skeptical, but like
John the skeptic. John the skeptic.
If I'm proved wrong, I'll be pleased because it's a fight I'm quite excited about. Yeah. So I would rather watch it at that time.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. As long as it's made, I'm a happy man because I think it's a really good fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm surprised that 15 fights apiece. I mean, obviously Lomachenko. I mean, that 15 fight figure is highly misleading. You went to two Olympics, got gold medal in both. As far as if my reading comprehension skills are up to par, so he got 2 gold medals, 2 different Olympics. So he's the 15 fights figure is extremely misleading. He's a highly experienced, I think there's some semi-pro fights that he had as well, where he's straddling the amateur ranks and the professional ranks. So highly experienced is Lomachenko. And so Teofimo, for him to step up, it makes a refreshing change. Big boys boxing. It makes a refreshing change that 2 exciting fighters are fighting pretty much, one at his peak, the other one not yet at his peak.
Yeah, man. I'm really looking forward to that fight, particularly after what Lopez did to Comey. No, I don't think anybody was expecting that, and that's given him a hell of a lot more hype. I think it'll be an interesting fight, man. I think it's I wouldn't quite say 50-50, but
I was thinking you're on the verge of saying 50-50. I thought you was on the verge of saying 50-50 there, Jono.
I'll be getting close to it though. I'd put 45-55 on it. After that performance from Lopez, he's young, he's hungry, he's got the power. I hope Lomachenko doesn't underestimate him. So I just really hope it gets made and we see it in April.
Yeah, I think it is made. Bob Arum is saying the fight is made. The only question is whether it's in New York, or Saudi. So that is that was my first video of 2020, exceedingly good news. Can't wait. I cannot wait to get for that thing to be 100% confirmed. It'd be nice when they can confirm the venue, and then we know that it is 100% on and popping. Anybody want to add anything to that?
Yeah. I think that this is part of the reason that Bob Arum petitioned to have Loma put up to being franchise because this is an in-house fight for Bob. Bob had been forced to lose 2 purse bids on the bounce to Eddie Hearn.
Damn.
And this is a big money spinner for him because Bob just wins.
Yeah.
I'm actually tipping Teofimo to win this.
Wow.
The reason, against Luke Campbell, I think Lomachenko's... No, I don't think he's slipping. I think it's the going up in weight classes.
Okay.
Because he's a featherweight, isn't he, at the end of the day? So he's gone up 2 weight classes, and I think now it's getting to the point where someone who isn't as skilled a boxer as him is going to beat him with size.
The size.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lopez loses, but I'm tipping Lopez to win this one.
Damn.
And I think it'll be an upset, but...
Yeah. Lopez is the kid. He's got that fire. He's got that fire in his belly.
And he can crack. that was a lovely straight right down the pipe that he put on Comey.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to. Well, there's 2 things. I think you got to hit Loma to the body, which he's susceptible to, and then you've got to get him in straight punches because if you throw anything looping, he's gonna see it.
Yeah. He will do. Okay.
But that was a cracking straight right.
Well, he caught him with a hook. The hook to drop him the first time, didn't he? The first knockdown was from the first knockdown where they're both through.
Didn't he get it? Didn't he set up a hook to actually land the straight right?
He set up with a hook.
Yeah.
And kind of a hooking jab.
Him.
Yeah.
And then he nailed him with a straight right.
Comey tried to counter the hook, and Lopez beat him to the punch with the right hand.
The right hand. Wicked.
So the hook kind of messed him about.
Yeah.
That left him open for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you better just do a classic combo like that on Loma. But he's a southpaw, isn't he? So the straight right, if you've got a good straight right, that is the antidote to the southpaw stance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the antidote. So what we got here? To those who think AJ will present his chin to Wilder to knock out, they must wake up from slumberland. Wilder will be one of AJ's easiest fights. Damn, we're busy up in here. And in comes the Watcher, all the way from down there in Australia. How you doing, mate?
You hear me?
Or should I say good day, mate? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yes. Good day to you. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How was your Christmas?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well that's good to have you. So we were just talking about Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. It's pretty much being confirmed by Bob Arum that that's going down in April in the USA, or possibly a bid is coming in from Saudi Arabia, so it could be out there in the sands. In was it May? Yeah, end of May. April, May. Yeah, end of May. So Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. What's your views? What's your feelings? The Watcher.
Well, I mean, that's a great fight to make. That's been brewing for a while now, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
And there's obviously been that back and forth between the two, especially like talking about each other's fathers or whatever. But I mean, oh, man, imagine if that happens in Saudi. I mean, that will be huge. That will be similar to the Joshua versus Ruiz saga. But Lomachenko and Lopez, that's such a good fight. And really, that Lopez is very dangerous for Loma. As good as Loma is, you know, that Lopez, he's got size. he's very quick. You know, I noticed Lomachenko, he's very quick with combinations, but Lopez is very quick with one shot, as we saw in the last fight. So there's that real battle between speed between the two. But yeah, that fight's definitely gonna happen. As you said, Bob Arum's confirmed it. So yeah, we'll see that definitely.
That we're gonna see that go down first half of 2020 already. It's one of the fights I'm looking forward to most. So I think we've chopped that topic up. I'm gonna stop sharing, and we're on the hunt. We're on the hunt for the next topic. I've got windows open all over the place. So what are we going with next? What are we going with next? Let's go with let's go with this one. Let's go with this one in no particular order. Let me share my screen. Where is it? Where is it? No, we're not touching that one yet. Not just yet. Not just yet. Where are we? Arum, very big business. Supports Fury's decision to replace Ben Davidson. That's what we're going with. That's what we are going with. Okay, so Bob Arum fully supports Tyson Fury's decision to replace Ben Davison. Okay, so back in December 15, Boxing Scene reported that former unified heavyweight champion Tyson Fury was in the process of replacing his head trainer Ben Davison. A few hours later, Fury confirmed the report and announced that he hired trainer Sugar Hill Stewart, who is based in Detroit, Michigan. Stewart is the nephew of Hall of Fame coach Emmanuel Stewart. Former middleweight champion Andy Lee is also a new addition to Fury's corner. And I don't want to get trapped in this darn thing, so I'll look for the pertinent statement. Okay. That corner almost lost the fight, said Aaron. The corner almost lost the fight. They had no clue. They gave all the credit to the guy who had never been a cut man before and did everything wrong. Everything. He was pressing down, so the blood was coming out. The man who saved Tyson Fury, he almost killed him. He almost killed him. I told Tyson that he needed help in the corner because it wasn't being run properly. And he needed a cut man. Emmanuel Stewart's nephew is pretty good. I think that's what will get Tyson through. I think Andy Lee, because Andy Lee is a real boxing guy who can work with Tyson's head. Okay, let me stop sharing that. So Bob Arum supports the decision to bring Sugar Hill and Andy Lee in. Andy Lee, Tyson Fury's cousin. Where am I going? Where am I going with this? Let's start off with John Daly.
Well, I support it as well.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Hold on, John. Before I put this out around the table, something I just remembered. I was listening to what is it? Tunde and what's that guy's name? The boxer who retired, Spencer Fury. Yeah, that's the guy, Spencer Fury. I was listening to their show, and they had some very interesting takes. They had a very interesting take on the replacing on the replacing of Ben Davison. They were kind of split. They were kind of split on it, but they did have a common. There was a common denominator between the two of them. They said that sometimes, I'm trying to paraphrase what they said. It's not. He said Emmanuel Stewart. He ate, dreamt, and slept boxing. Ate, dreamt, and slept boxing. He said, effectively, just because you're related to somebody doesn't automatically mean that you are going to be great. Just because you're related to a great man, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a great man yourself. Ultimately, what they were saying was that Ben Davison knows Fury. Ben Davison knows Fury. When he beat or when he drew with Deontay Wilder first time around, everything was all good. It was all good, all positive. Yeah, Ben's great, but because Tyson Fury has a tough fight, all of a sudden Ben ain't great no more. Ben's the wrong guy. But they said, well, hold on a second. So styles make fights. It's all about styles. It's all about the style. Now, he was with Ben Davison when he did well, what most people would say very well, against Deontay Wilder the first time around. They said, okay, now look at the Kronk style. Look at the Kronk style. The Kronk style is more aggressive. Presumably, Tyson Fury's gone to Sugar Hill for the Kronk style. Want to bring back the Kronk style. But the Kronk style could be the undoing of Tyson Fury. Maybe it'd have been better. Styles make fights. Maybe it'd have been better with a Ben Davidson in his corner against Deontay Wilder. Maybe just maybe might be better off. And furthermore, if you check the videos, people, if you check my videos, you will see that I have covered and shown the words of Sugar Hill. In Sugar Hill's own words, he said that he was employed as an assistant. So that indicates to us, that gives us a very strong indication that the original plan of Fury was to have Ben on board as well as another trainer, in this case, Sugar Hill. But if my belief is correct, then it means that Ben Davison wasn't having it, and Ben Davison chose to walk. So throwing the plan up in the air, John D. Lee.
Well, I'll tell you why I support it. There's a number of reasons. I'm going to say his name since you should be doing a collab with him.
Yeah.
True School Sports did an interview with Stacey McKinley.
Yeah.
He's a trainer of Trevor Bryant. He's also a Detroit trainer. Now, don't want to get too long-winded. Mark Breland was a Kronk fighter.
He's a Kronk fighter and now one of the trainers of Deontay Wilder.
Yes. And if you look at Deontay Wilder, they're trying to get him to do a large part of the Kronk style, which is a very heavy right hand from distance.
Mm-hmm.
And in that interview with Stacey McKinley, he says in Detroit, they have a technique called step into the power to take away the right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best way to beat Deontay Wilder is to get inside him and hurt him.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's what Mark Breland's been trying to teach him, sort of a very poor man's version of Tommy Hearns' style of boxing, because he's got the build.
Yeah.
Now, Tyson Fury is also ideally built for the Detroit style of fighting.
Yeah.
So I think they were bringing Sugar Hill in to take away the right hand, basically, to step to the power and also to improve Tyson's power from a technical point of view.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Ben Davison chucked his toys out the pram. But when it comes down to the technical side of boxing, I think Tyson Fury knows more than Ben Davidson anyway.
Yeah.
Ben Davidson was keeping Tyson's head right, but they brought Andy Lee in to do that. Somebody that Tyson's known a lot longer than he's known Ben Davidson.
Yeah.
Andy Lee's also a traveller, isn't he?
He is. He's his cousin.
Yeah, I think it's a bit distant, but they know each other pretty well, don't
they? Okay.
You can never tell whether it's a true cousin.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because they're all supposed to be cousins, like Jose Burton and Nathan Gorman. Nathan Gorman genuinely is his cousin.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the rest of them, but
no.
But they're the same community. He knows him.
Yeah.
And they're friends. So what Ben Davidson was able to do about keeping his head right, I think Andy Lee's coming to do that. And I think the technical stuff, which is what he was always supposed to be coming in for, Sugar Hill, is actually they're trying to strategize the right way, in my opinion, to actually beat Deontay Wilder. So I could actually have been quite successful because I believe that you can train for power and you can develop it through technique.
Yeah.
I don't believe in this God-given power thing. I mean, there's always going to be variation, but if you don't sit down on your punches and you don't turn your punches over properly, you don't stand the chance of utilizing the power that you have. Tyson Fury is going to come in between 250 and 260. If he sits down and turns his punches over properly when he needs to, not all the time, but when he needs to, he could take him out. And I think that's the best way to beat Wilder.
Take him out.
Try and knock him out, knock Wilder out.
Oh, okay. Knock his back off.
Yeah, because if Tyson's in there aiming to box for 12 rounds, Tyson will get bored, he'll showboat, and he'll get clipped. It's not because of the skill. It's not even engine. He'll get bored.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting that Tyson Fury's game plan should be to knock Deontay Wilder out?
Yeah, and also I believe that in Detroit there's a depth at taking away your opponent's right hand as well. And Stacey McKinley describes it as stepping to the power. So you step inside it because they generate their power from throwing at range. So Deontay Wilder has to get full extension on his punches to generate the power that he does. Yeah. So if you get inside his range, you take his power away, you frustrate him, and then you can time him with your own shots.
Big boys boxing. Call Big Boys Boxing nap in there. Call Big Boys Boxing nap in there. The Watcher. Oh, hold on a second. Big Boys Boxing, are you receiving?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I muted you. Yeah, okay. We're good now.
Yeah, certainly an interesting situation. I definitely agree with you guys that Ben Davison probably walked. He didn't want to be secondary coach and whatnot. But I also agree that Tyson's game plan is probably going to be to try and stop Wilder. I don't think he's going to try and go the distance because it's been proven time and time again Deontay Wilder doesn't slow down. He doesn't get tired. No. So best way to beat him is to stop him. But yeah, Sugar Hill being Emmanuel Stewart's nephew definitely doesn't make him a good coach, but he was in camp with Emmanuel Stewart for many years, so he does know what he's doing. And Bob Arum totally dogging Ben Davison. I don't think that's on, but to me, Bob Arum's a senile old fart anyway. He just says what he needs to say for promotional purposes. So it is what it is from him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight and seeing what changes this is going to make to Tyson's style. And I would like to see him be a bit more aggressive and take away that range like you guys were talking about, because that's where Deontay Wilder hits the hardest. That's where he's most dangerous. You get inside it, do a lot of work inside, work his body. He doesn't like getting hit to the body.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, make him think about his body and then come over the top. And we've seen him get clipped a few times and hurt, so we know he can be hurt. And yeah, I want to see him knocked out, but will it happen? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
Okay, so before I go to YG, what happened to YG? YG disappeared. Okay, come on back in, YG. Okay, so yeah, we are going over to the Watcher.
Yeah, I agree with I just forgot Big Boys Boxing and the other one.
Yeah, John Dealey.
Yeah. Look, obviously something happened in between Fury and Ben.
Yeah.
I reckon partly a combination of probably financial.
Yeah.
Probably position-wise, like maybe Fury as a lot of people are saying, Fury wanting to bring a coach in, and Ben sort of being, that co-manager or co-coach. Sorry. But for Bob to say, look, Bob's like, how old's Bob now? He's like 80-something. Bob Arum, right?
He's up there. He's up there.
Yeah, like look,
it's almost as old as the Queen.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, I just think, like Big Boys Boxing said, him dogging Ben, that's not on. And for Ben to, essentially bring Fury back from all the crap he went through, beforehand, and Fury putting in that performance like he did against Wilder, still managing to get up from that monster punch twice. I thought that was outstanding. And then look, he beat Schwartz and Ben was still being praised. Yeah. And then when he fought Wallen, it was kind of like, oh, Ben's no good. It's similar to Robert McCracken with AJ.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah.
In terms of the Kronk style, and the trainer, because I don't know if you guys know, but ESPN Top Rank, they did change Sugar Hill's last name. They changed it to Stewart.
Yeah.
I think his real last name is not Stewart. It's something else. Which
That's
is
correct.
I find that a bit weird. I don't know about that, but it's kind of like how Top Rank milk the lineal champion thing, which is weird. But in terms of the Kronk style, it's funny because I heard Fury say he was in Vegas to train. But
apparently Sugar Hill's traveled with him.
Oh, okay.
Sugar Hill is with him.
Okay, well that explains it, because I was going to say like Detroit is where that gym is, but it was very interesting that JD said about walking into the right hand or something.
Yeah.
I agree.
Carry on. Stepping into the power to neutralize.
Stepping into the power. That sounds a bit better. Yeah. There were spurts in the fight where, particularly round 9, where he knocked Fury down, and Wilder was throwing that 1, 2, 3, the jab cross hook, and he was not throwing it correctly. He was throwing it slow, and he was winging it. And there was a bit where he missed the hook, and then Fury countered with a jab, and then he threw the right hand, which just went over Wilder's guard. Yeah. But then he threw a left hook to the body. And you can see Wilder takes a good body shot. I heard that Wilder doesn't like getting hit to the body. I think sometimes he doesn't. But I think overall with that ectomorph body type, I think he takes a body shot pretty well, given how strong that back and that core is. But I will say that body shot definitely hurt Wilder, because I saw him hold and I saw his body wrinkle up just for a split second. It was a monster hook down there. I know that he felt that. It's a terrible shot to take.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, My mic went off. I think if Fury does that in spurts, he'll win the fight, and he could stop Wilder because Fury's not feather-fisted. Okay,
No.
he doesn't hit like AJ or Wilder, but he's got 20 knockouts out of his 29 victories, and I think if he just combinations the outboxing and the inside fighting together, the last thing I'll touch on with that is that stepping into the power. Wilder's extremely quick, and Fury, as big and as strong as he is, and as tall as he is, I don't see him really being able to come in and work that inside comfortably, quick enough to get away from that right hand. Because look at the Spilker fight. When Spilker, I know it's a different size and everything, but Spilker went for that hook, and Wilder just put it right down the pipe. If you look at even Johan Duhaupas, the French guy that he fought in 2015, and Eric Molina, they tried to go for Wilder, and Wilder just boom went straight down the pipe with that right hand. So, and those guys are like 6'5", 6'4", 6'3". A guy that's 6'9", who doesn't necessarily tuck his chin in, have that tight guard. I don't see him being able to do that successfully. Maybe early on, but I didn't see it.
So, what you're saying? You're saying that he's doomed. Fury's doomed.
No, I'm not actually. I think Wilder's going to win. Okay. But I think Fury can win as well. Like, I'm not writing him off.
How do you think Wilder's going to win? What method? Sorry.
I think this time he will knock Fury out.
Okay.
I don't know about the cut.
Yeah.
I'm not really looking into that. Look, if it opens, it opens. I don't think it really will open, you know? I got a feeling it won't.
I don't think so either.
But yeah, I think look, Fury got up last time, but that first knockdown, right, it hit, on that side of the head, sort of near the back, right? And Fury recovered. No, that's an easier shot to recover from rather than where Joshua got hit.
Yeah.
And then the last one was a monster punch, but that still wasn't as clean on the chin. That one hit the ear, the right hand, and then the left hook hit the side of the face. I don't think Fury will get up again. As much as people go on about him rising from the ashes and everything.
Did Wilder shake something loose? Did Wilder shake something loose in Fury?
Yeah, I think so.
Could be a dodgy connection in there somewhere.
Oh, did you not?
No, I mean, no. I'm talking about, after being knocked down.
Yes. Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
I don't know, man. There could be a loose connection. There could be a loose connection. Why? Hold on a second, my friend Watcher. YG in the building for the first time, I believe. YG.
What's going on, man? Ralphie, salute to your channel, man. Happy New Year's. Salute to everybody on the channel.
Man. Happy New Year to you, my friend. It's the first time I think you've been on YG. Am I correct?
No, this is my second time I've been on your channel. My second.
Yes, have you actually been on the panel before?
Yes, we it was a day from when we was talking, and I group chat, and then we came and we talked on which. Well, I didn't talk, but I was on the panel, and then like it was going in a circle like that, and then I got a phone call and I left. But I never actually. This is my first time speaking, but I was on the panel.
Oh, wicked! So this is the first. This is the first time you've been active. First time you've been an active panelist. So welcome over. I like to welcome the LDBC over here.
Wait, hold on, but I'm not LDBC though. Don't say that. I'm a New Yorker, man.
Are you not LDBC? I thought you was LDBC.
Only thing I claim is New York. But I came to talk about the boxes though. I don't want to talk about no other channels or nothing like that. But
no. We're not talking about other channels. I was just trying to see your perspective, trying to get your perspective. It's all good. I'm just basically saying that wherever you are on the spectrum, and I'm talking to people out there, please don't feel excluded. You are most welcome, whatever part of the boxing political spectrum you may fall on. You're always welcome here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Boxing Talk with Raphie. Yeah, so YG, we're talking about
Tyson. I know I was listening to the show. I was
yeah,
listening.
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm up to what you call it. So Tyson changing corners. If you go back and you look at the fight, right? Now your corner man, he's supposed to be your general, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like when you come back to your corner, you want somebody to give you strong information and strong leadership to what to go out there. And even if the middle of rounds, if you look over at your corner man, you want to see a strong face from him. During that fight, when they showed the fight, his corner man looked worried. He didn't have the face of a true general. So if you go back and you look at that, I could see why Tyson probably wanted to change trainers to somebody that been in the championship fights.
Yeah.
So that part I really didn't knock him for changing trainers because that guy's been with him, but that was the first dog fight that he was in, that he was with Tyson for. And if you go back and look at it, if y'all get a chance, and they show the in between rounds when they show the corner man Davidson looking at the fight, he was looking worried, like he wasn't looking like a general. And then even with what you call it said with the cut man, that wasn't top notch heavyweight championship cut man work. Like it could, the things could be a little bit tighter than that. I started to think about Tyson and Buster Douglas when I was watching it a little bit too, when Tyson did not have the right equipment in the corner. So moving forward from off of that, the thing about the Michigan thing, they're known for their right hands, but another thing that they do too a lot heavy is the check left hook. So more than them trying to get Tyson to throw his right hand with more power, they might want to get him to throw the check left hook more because he already lives off the jab, take a step back, and then throw your hook. So look out for that more than you'll see Tyson sitting down on his right hand, because Michigan fighters are known more for their check left hook. So you can try to see him put that into his game more than you'll see him trying to sit down on the right hand to take out Wilder. Like I see there's a bridge way for Fury to win, but I kind of got Tyson. I kind of got Wilder winning on points. I think Wilder's gonna get a couple knockdowns, and this time they'll give him the fight instead of a draw. That's if he don't go out there and be as wild as he was, giving away rounds like he was doing. Because I'm not gonna lie, he gave away some rounds, and I felt Tyson earned some good rounds. Like I've always said that Tyson is the best boxer in the heavyweight. I'm sticking to that. As far as the foot movement and like his jab, and when he moved his head, he got a little cocky in there. He touched the canvas for it. But if he stays focused and he eats off his jab, throw the check left hook and don't stand in the pocket too long, there's a bridge for him to win it. Like I said though, but I got Wilder winning on points via a couple knockdowns. I don't think he's gonna knock Tyson out. Because Tyson he knows how to tie up when he's hurt, and he still throws the jab to keep him up. He got kind of cocky when he got caught at the end of the in that 12th round. And my belief so, but we'll see. Like, tell me what you think about what I just said.
Well, I mean, my views about the whole thing, I think they should have kept Ben Davidson. For the continuity on the one hand. On the other hand, John made a good point that they brought in, what's that guy's name? His friend, his cousin?
Andy Lee.
Andy Lee. Okay, so he's brought in Andy Lee for that role. So that's covered. Now Ben's there. Theoretically, that angle's covered. Also, the notion, the possibility, the probability that Tyson knows more about boxing than Ben Davidson. Yep. Another very valid point. However, we have to acknowledge that the plan was that Sugar Hill would be working alongside Ben Davidson. And me personally, I'd have preferred that. I'd have preferred Ben Davidson, even though people are saying he's more of the physical guy. He's more of the training guy rather than the physical training guy rather than the boxing training guy. You know, that's a philosophy as well. But me personally, I like continuity. It's like with us, Anthony Joshua. When people were saying they should, he should get rid of his trainer. And I entertained the notion. Because I knew he needed to develop. But I also entertained the notion that they should bring people alongside him and have them work together as a team. And that's what Anthony Joshua did. And so I think the ideal situation would have been to go that route. And it seems that Tyson was trying to go that route, but Ben Davidson vetoed it. He said no. He didn't want that arrangement. Maybe he felt stung by what happened with Roach. What's his first name? Roach's first name?
Freddie Roach.
Freddie Roach. He felt stung by Roach's criticism. Roach came in and criticized Ben Davidson after the Wilder fight. Maybe he felt stung. He said never again. Maybe. I'm hypothesizing. Maybe. But to me, that would have been the optimal arrangement. I like continuity. Bring other people in around your trainer. If needs be, have your trainer pick them. Sit down and discuss it with your trainer. If you feel you need help that he can't give you, but you want that continuity, then yeah. So I think the idea was a good one. If it was Tyson Fury's idea, it was a good one. But Ben Davidson scuppered that, and so now it's like making the best of a new situation. I'm not saying a bad situation; it's a new situation because a new situation could be better than the old situation. So it's making the best of a new situation. And so how do I think it's going to go down? Well, I originally thought that Wilder was going to knock out Fury. I originally thought in the rematch that Wilder would KO Fury. However, with the new arrangement, with the new input, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that Tyson is going to KO Fury. I think Fury is a very clever boxer, and they're going to have a few tricks up their sleeve. They're going to have the Kronk style up their sleeve, or if not necessarily the Kronk style of the stiff jab, authoritative jab, and then a stiff right to follow it. If not that, then it could be bringing in a Kronk man to counter another Kronk man. How do I see Fury fighting? I think I described this last time on the show. I think he is going to be using some traditional Kronk style, but in a non-traditional way. Allow me to expand. Okay, so rather than sitting down on his punches, rather than doing that, I think he's going to be fleeting. I think he's going to be fleet of foot, which he normally is, and occasionally putting a stiff one in disguised. He's going to use different paced punches, softer punches as a disguise, and then whipping a hard one when he sits on the punch momentarily. Keeping the fight close is what I think Wilder will be one of Wilder's objectives. Keeping it close, keeping it tight. We know Wilder wants you on the end of his shots. He wants a certain distance. Staying within that distance, making it messy. Making it messy, and I can see it. I can visualize it in my head. I think Tyson can do it, and he can land more punches. Yes, Deontay Wilder does carry his power, but He's not exactly what you'd call a high output guy. So it's easy to think and conceive that Tyson Fury will be looking to exploit the fact that Wilder is not a high output guy, exploit the fact that he knows where Wilder wants him on the end of the range, on the outside. Therefore, staying in close in the mid ranges and close range. A lot of grappling, a lot of inside grappling, a lot of inside wrestling and touching Wilder up, making it very, very uncomfortable for him. I can easily see that strategy. Easily. Yeah. Who do I think is going to win? That's what makes this fight very, very watchable. The fact that, damn, let's go around the table. I'll give mine. I'll give my assessment. Who do I think is gonna win? It's really that close. It's really, really. I'm gonna pick one. Let me pick one. Is it still gonna be Wilder by knockout? Okay, let me go. This will change all the way up to the fight. What I'm saying today is that Fury outworks Wilder and stays close range, mid to close range. That is my prediction. We're going around the table. So Fury outpointing Wilder. Yeah, okay, I said it. John D. Lee.
Well, first of all, I think there's going to be a knockout one way or the other. That's what I actually think is going to happen. That's really what I was trying to say as well, what you said, Raphie, about not always sitting down on his punches. He doesn't have to throw heavy punches all the time, does he? You know, that can be really effective. It's what George Foreman said, how he lured Michael Moore in to knock him out. Just throwing soft punches at him.
Big believer in that.
And then he, well, of course, it's a fantastic way because people get confident.
Yeah,
they think there's nothing to fear. So it's a great thing. But the other thing I think that using Sugar Hill for is to get a Detroit man to beat a Detroit man.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's there for myself. But anyway, we'll see about that. I'm definitely not sticking to this pick because no, I'll tell you why I'm not sticking to any pick because Tyson. I can't rely on Tyson to train hard. Yeah. I can rely on Wilder to come in shape, 100%. I can't rely on Wilder mentally. I think Tyson got to him mentally in the last one.
Yeah.
So if Tyson comes in fit, I think he wins by KO. But that's a big if because Tyson might not come in fit. We've seen it lots of times. If Tyson comes in unfit, it's going to be a Wilder KO. But for now, I'm going for a Fury KO.
See, I had this with Yardman last week when he said that Yardman said that he doesn't think he's not sure Tyson's focused. But what I'm saying is a man who put you in the coffin last time out and you had to bang on the door of the coffin to let you out. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead.
That's not the only type of fit, though, is it, Raphie? You've already talked about the potential that Deontay's cracked his chin. Yeah. So, you know, there's different types of fit.
Yeah.
Is Tyson going to take it seriously? Yeah, I think he's going to take it seriously.
I'll be astonished if he doesn't come in fit for it.
But Tyson is not a stable character. So for me to sit here 2 months away from the fight to tell you that I'm picking Tyson by KO, I'm putting in one caveat. I want a fully fit Tyson to stick by that.
Yeah.
We're now 1 month away from the fight too.
What?
Well, it's the 22nd of Feb, isn't it? So what will be 6 weeks?
6, 7 weeks.
Yeah, we're now 1 month. But that was the right word though. Astonished. That's what I would be. I think I would be that too if he comes in out of shape. I can't see him doing that.
Tyson, I've followed Tyson since they did a show. What was it on Sky Sports News? They had John Fury and Tyson in the gym when Tyson was about 18.
Yeah.
I've followed his career since then. I just don't trust Tyson until I see him in the ring and I see which Tyson it is.
I would be astonished. Astonished.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Knowing what he knows. I would
Yeah.
be astonished if he pulled the Andy Ruiz.
But I'm not sitting here and confidently telling you Tyson's head's not in the game. Which I listened to the show you're talking about, Raphie.
Yeah.
I'm not confident that Tyson's not going to come in fit. But if I'm going to sit here this far away from the fight and tell you that Tyson's winning by KO, I've got one condition on that, and that's Tyson's fully tip-top shape.
That's reasonable. That is reasonable. The Watcher.
Yeah, a lot of interesting points. It's really not far away. I mean, 7 weeks. Yeah. You know what? I am waiting for promotion. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Fury's been on the little panel for the college football, and I've not seen Wilder anywhere.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, I heard Jay Diaz saying that they're ahead of schedule though. Jay Diaz is one of the coaches of Wilder.
Yeah.
And I've talked to Jay before, and he's good. And you know what? Jay's not like Shelley. You know, Jay's is very different. He'll talk sense. You know, he actually says it how it is. Like he even talked about when Wilder got knocked down by Harold Sconius. Like he had no problem saying that. Yeah, like my fighter got knocked down by a journeyman. You know, back in 2010. But getting to the prediction and who I think will win. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Fury got a decision. And I wouldn't be, because I thought the first time I thought it'd win against Wilder. Isn't that funny? You know, a lot of people thought Wilder would knock Fury out in their first fight. I thought Fury would win because I thought that he had a lot of momentum. You know, there was a lot of pressure on Wilder. And I thought his style at that time was no good. But after looking at the fight, I don't know how many times I watched the full fight. Probably a million. But I see Wilder winning either on a knockout or on decision. I see there's this guy, Boardroom Bully, saying some stuff. Like, people get like deluded fanboys or whatever by decision. Winning by decision does not mean you've got to box like, you know, throw 20 double jabs in a round and throw, 10 combinations. That's not winning on decision. Look at Marcus Maidana and Mayweather, okay? Some people thought Maidana won just because of activity, that dirty style. I think Wilder can win on decision if he gets on the inside like he did in the Duopar fight, where he's just digging that body and jabbing to the body and, even hitting across the shot, the shoulder. That's not a clean shot, but, just using counters, using jabs and the knockdowns. I'm not saying that's certain though, but I think that's a possibility.
What's a possibility?
That he can knock Fury down, because he could win without knocking Fury down. He could still outwork him in some rounds for at least 6 rounds or more.
YG. Wilder.
Well, if he,
carry on.
Yeah, I got Wilder too, but I think it's gonna be on knockdown. I don't think he's gonna knock Fury out unless he just catches him good and Fury gets up buzzed, and then he just just storms him, or gets a technical knockout. But I don't think he's gonna pancake him like he did in the 12th round. And Fury, like I know I keep hearing y'all saying Fury's gonna sit down on the right hand. I think with Stewart coming in, he's gonna throw it, like I keep saying, it's gonna be the check left hook. Like I think he could jab, take a step back, and then counter Wilder as he's coming in. Like that would be a better than trying to sit down with the right hand, because if he does that and misses, you already know Wilder's gonna throw his right hand, and you don't want it. You don't want that.
So you're looking for Fury to throw a check left hook when
the check left hook.
When Wilder is throwing the right.
No, it's not. He actually doesn't throw the right. If you watch the fight over, when Fury's like backpedaling, he's like feinting with his jab going back. Wilder almost just walks in. There's space to check left hook around that, but since that he does that, he just comes in. Like, but Wilder was so wild that first fight. It's hard to even like. He's not even gonna fight that way. Hopefully, he don't fight that way. That made the fight a little bit sloppy. The way he was just winging punches. But I'm watching this college football thing. I just seen an interception.
Who was winging punches?
Wilder was winging punches that first fight. You don't
Could I just make a point on that?
Yeah,
I think you're right, YG. I also think that's why Wilder's gone missing from the press conferences, because I think Fury beat him mentally in the last fight. So Wilder went crazy when he got in the ring. The Wilder that we saw against Ortiz was a very patient, actually good fight. I know he was losing all the rounds, but he played the fight perfectly. I like Raphie's Bruce Lee style, is what I called it.
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
I like that. But I think it's an intentional thing to keep Wilder away from Fury because they need to keep Wilder's head in the right place.
Yeah. So we'll touch on that before we move on. We're going to touch on that. We're going to go around the horn, around the panel, and we'll start with YG. YG, where the hell is Waldo?
Oh, you said where's Wilder? I think they just said he's training and he's ahead of schedule.
He's ahead of schedule. If he's ahead of schedule, why is he not doing promotion? Why did he not show up for the appointment at the college football thing? Where is he?
I mean, they asked him to show up to, the college football thing. I already know that wasn't going to happen because Alabama wasn't playing in that game. He wasn't going to show up to that game.
I think he was meant to go to Atlanta.
Huh?
I think he was meant to go to Atlanta. I'm not sure. That's what I heard.
No, they wanted him to they wanted him to show up to the damn, I just had the Clemson and I was watching it. Okay. Alabama lost, so they didn't make that game. Yeah. He's gonna show up to the Alabama game.
He's gonna show up to the Alabama. When's the Alabama game? Do you know off the top of your head or not sure?
Nah, I don't know at the top of my head, but he should be there though.
Well, he was supposed to be at the other one. He should have been at the other one. He's supposed to be promoting a fight. They got a fight in 7 weeks. He's supposed to be promoting it. YG, he's got a fight in 7 weeks. He's supposed to be promoting it. I think we've lost YG for a second. Watcher.
Yeah, well, that's what Jay Diaz said on The Boxing Voice with good old Nestor Gibbs.
Yeah.
But I also emailed Jay and he said we're ahead of schedule. Like, they've got the heaters in the gym now, like they train with the heaters on to replicate fight night. Yeah. So rather than air condition the gym.
It's already hot in there anyway, though.
Yeah, well, in Alabama South, it's definitely hot. But Demarius Hill, who's also another coach there, they're ready. Where is Wilder? Who said that he had a flu? Was it Fury?
Oh, somebody said he had a flu. Yeah, somebody said he had a flu.
A flu. I've heard that for a while. In the first Ortiz fight, he said he had a flu, which looked evident because he looked very drained. I know that body type, that ectomorph, that skinny, lanky, tall one. It doesn't deal well with the climate, doesn't deal well with weather. And where Wilder lives, the weather's quite sporadic. Lots of floods, lots of hot air, but I think he's not intentionally staying away. I don't think Al Heyman's like sitting in his throne and, clipping his fingers together and saying, oh, let's keep Wilder away from Fury. And I don't think Shelley has a say. I don't even think Wilder really likes Shelley that much. I saw him talking with Shelley after the Ortiz fight. He was yelling at him. But I don't think Shelley's got any part of that. I don't think Jay Diaz has got any part of that because Jay says he's not really interested in. He doesn't turn up to the conferences. I think within a week we're going to see something. However, I would like for Wilder to do some promotion and maybe like YG said he's going to turn up to some Alabama game But
not. Okay.
Oh, he was. What were you gonna say?
The Alabama play, they destroyed Michigan earlier today. That happened earlier already. But I kind of, even if that, what you call it, I knew that was a bad idea to try to get him to go to that game to promote the what you call it. Maybe he might turn up to the championship game, but I knew he wasn't gonna show up to the playoff game with Clemson and what you call it. I knew that wasn't happening.
Why?
Even if he, I don't. It's
Why?
just you just huh?
Why?
Because he supports Alabama. I'd like Nick Saban and them be having him come talk to the team. Yeah, he's an Alabama. Like you don't. It's like that's like getting. I don't want to say another. Cause see, it's hard to say another sport, but that's how it is. You wouldn't have. I guess you wouldn't have Tom Brady go to a Alabama game and he went to Michigan.
Why are they rivals? Are they rivals with Alabama?
Huh?
Are the teams for the game? Are they rivals?
No, what happened is the way they got it set up now, 4 teams go to the championship, and Alabama didn't make it. So it was LSU, Clemson, and 2 other teams that I can't think of off the top. So that's why Alabama played today, and then the championship game is in 2 weeks. So he might show up to the championship game.
He might show up. He might show up.
Yeah, but I doubt it. There's other ways for him to promote the what you call it. They don't always have to use. They've been using college football lately.
Hold on a second. I gotta go in on this. I gotta go in on this point because Bob Arum was saying as one of the reasons why they weren't doing the typical press conference was that so many millions of people would be watching those games that it only makes sense. It would cost millions and millions in advertising to get that kind of exposure. So what you're telling me is that Wilder blew millions and millions in terms of exposure by not turning up.
He didn't blow millions because Tyson was there to talk about it.
Hold on a second. He blew a multi-million opportunity to advertise the fight by not showing up.
No, I wouldn't say that because everybody that watched that game, they know who Deontay Wilder is.
Oh, they already know who he is, so he didn't have to be there.
Yeah, he did the what you call it last year.
So hold on.
For the game. This is not his first time. I mean, like if he goes what you call it. Well, if he would have went last week when they had the games, that wouldn't have been his first time at one of the college press conferences.
So
he's done that before.
Why did
Fury do it?
Why did Bob Arum talk about the opportunity, a multi-million-dollar opportunity?
Because Top Rank is just able to start sending their fighters to that. They wasn't doing that. He wasn't sending Terrence Crawford and none of the Lomachenko or none of his fighters to college football games. That's something new to him.
So
none of his fighters.
Ultimately, it's a multi-million-dollar opportunity blown.
No, I wouldn't. You really can't say that. It's not the same. It's not the same. First of all, Fury's not from the States, so for him he's picking up new fans when he go to the fight. But Tyson ain't. Wilder won't be picking up new fans by going to the what you call it. People know who he is. People
know who he is, so he doesn't have to advertise the fight.
I'm not saying he don't have to advertise the fight, but it wasn't. It would have been a nice opportunity to do, but it's not the end of the world that he didn't go to that Clemson game.
How you see? I just have to say this: with such a multi-million-dollar opportunity for free. For free.
All right, hold on. Let me make it easier, right? Say if they would have had the press conference in Wembley, right? Say if they would have had one of those, because they usually do on London, New York, LA. They usually do it like that, right? So if they would have went over there, right? And Wilder shows up and he talks to the people and all that, and Tyson doesn't go, it really wouldn't have been a big deal because everybody over there knows him. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me just go a little bit deeper into this before we move on. Okay, so it was explained to me It was explained to me some time ago by a guy I knew who studied some kind of business studies guy. And he pointed out to me that the biggest brands that you are aware of, they advertise. And he said to me, well, why do the biggest brands you know advertise? Because they're big already. Why do they advertise? And that's to make sure that they keep their brand out there, up there. Let people know they are preeminent. So even though your favorite coffee, if it's a big brand, even though they might be the biggest brand, they still advertise. They still spend that advertising pound, dollar, or euro to make sure they are seen out there, to make sure they get out there, to make sure they have product awareness. So any which way you cut it, YG, by Deontay, well, if he was sick, fair enough. But if he was not sick and he didn't turn up, he just blew a multi-million-dollar opportunity. If they had to pay for that advertising, it would be in the multiples of millions. And if he's sick, fine. But if he's not sick, he just blew a massive opportunity, YG.
I understand what you're saying, but I didn't even know that he was the sick thing, but I thought it was more of that whole the college football thing more than that. But I get what you say. I get that point.
Yeah, I mean, there's no two ways about it. You get free advertising at a major thing like that. It's major to you guys. We don't know about it, but it's major to you guys to blow off that opportunity, such a major opportunity. If he's sick, fair enough. If he's not, then that is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that then leads itself to the question: Is Deontay Wilder trying to stay away from Tyson Fury this time around? Did Tyson Fury soul get into his head that he doesn't want? He's trying to stay away. He's trying to keep his distance.
Nah.
Right?
I mean, but last time when they fought, most of Fury's, like, the work that, when you say mentally he was getting in his head, he was mostly putting out videos without being near Wilder. Most of his best smack talk is, when he went in the streets, he was in LA and he was walking around asking people, do you know who Wilder is? Do you know who Wilder is? So most of his, when he was really getting in his head, that was via video. Like the way it is right now, you don't have to actually see somebody to get under their skin. And I guess y'all being on the internet, y'all know that already. That a person could get under your skin without you even being in the same state as them.
Yeah, but when they were on stage together, Tyson Fury won those battles.
Yeah, but it wasn't like. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to get that in.
Let's carry on.
Look, in London, okay, Fury was the one that decided to get up and have a little body spar, and Wilder made a stupid mistake and he went along with it. But my thing is that I don't think Fury got into Wilder's head, okay, and the reason is because I saw Wilder smiling and laughing at Fury. It's very different with Klitschko, because Klitschko was holding it in and he was saying really subtle lines, like really really low key. Whereas Wilder, he kind of went with it, even though he's not used to it. Now he is. Now he's used to it because he's been through it. He's now used to it. The whole pushing and shoving. Look, they're pointing at each other and they're just touching each other's forehead or whatever. That happens all the time. But I was gonna say, let me get back to it. Sorry, I just lost train of thought. Continue.
Okay. John D. Lee.
Well, for me, that's a large part of Tyson's game. He gets in people's heads. I'm not sure he would have beaten Vladimir Klitschko if he hadn't got inside his head, because he didn't really throw anything. and as soon as Vlad realised there was nothing to worry about coming his way, he won the last 2 rounds. But Vlad likes to be in control, and you've got a giant of a man turning up at press conferences in Batman costumes. And I totally disagree with the watcher. I think, we saw Deontay smiling in all these situations in the build-up to the fight. But I don't think they were real smiles. I think they were fake. And I think he was thrown wild, and he was just no game plan at all. Just throw my right hand as hard and as many times as I can until I catch him. I think the reason for that was because Tyson had got to him.
Yeah.
When Deontay's at his best, he's patient.
Yeah.
And I can't think of another explanation as to why Deontay wasn't patient, because Tyson wasn't throwing anything that was hurting him through a large part of the early rounds. A lot of the times when Tyson did get to him was when Tyson had been hit himself. And Tyson wasn't even winning with volume either, really. I mean, Tyson wasn't massively active in terms of punch. Yeah, a lot of feinting, a lot of dancing, a lot of showboating to sell that he's winning the fight, to sell that he's in control. But if you just look at punches landed, there's no reason for Deontay to not just be patient and wait till he's got his range in and throw the right hand. So the only explanation I've got as to why he didn't do that is because Tyson did get in his head. It's too early to say if Deontay Wilder's hiding away from Tyson or avoiding contact to avoid that same scenario. But I think there is a possibility. And also, there's no point engaging in head games with Fury because you'll probably lose. And Deontay likes to get into those sort of games, and I just don't think he's got the intelligence to do it with Tyson. I think AJ would be mentally the worst for Tyson because I don't think AJ would get involved.
I think AJ would kind of just stay quiet and he'd say,
just let him talk his shit and just.
He'd be like, "What the f you?" He'd be thinking in his head.
Talking about what is he?
Well, AJ already knows what Tyson's like because he's been having it for years and years and years and years.
AJ doesn't. AJ doesn't give a crap. He really doesn't.
He don't give a rat's ass.
No, whereas Deontay will get drawn into it.
Deontay,
he will admit. Americans are a little bit more sensitive.
I don't know that.
I don't. You said that, not me. You said that, not me.
First of all,
that's the Australian one.
I'm kidding. I'm just saying.
Let's not act like Brazil didn't make AJ get a little bit out of his pocket too.
That's a good point.
Yeah, he did.
So it happens to you, but like I said, he did. Like he made him go in there and start winging punches a little bit. When a little bit of that too is from Fury, because Fury's herky jerky, and he could be in range and then take a step or two, and he's right out of range too.
But
so
when Wilder's when Wilder's at his best, he'll wait until he's touching you with his left hand before he even starts throwing his right. So if he's not throwing the left and landing with the left, he won't throw the right. He has to be at least touching you with that left hand. So I just think that he got to him, but anyway, we'll see. It's too early to know.
I understand exactly what you said, but if you think about Fury, he does a hurt, like it's hard to say how he does that herky jerk move, but it's like he leans to the opponent right hand, but he's not in range of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because Tyson uses his own length because Tyson's got a bigger reach than everybody. He's got 85-inch reach. So he can lean in that direction and be out of range and still touch you.
This, another reason why I really can't see Tyson coming out of shape again. I know you can't say we could trust him, but he's been to the top and then went all the way to the bottom, and he knows how people treat him when he does that. Like that feeling, I think was a worse feeling than everything. Where he went to the bottom and he had to watch an AJ come up and get spotlight. And then people with Deontay Wilder in the spotlight, I know that had to hurt him.
But he put that on himself.
I think you're ignoring the Nandrolone though there. Like the shape that Tyson got into at that point, he got convicted of taking drugs for it. And he hasn't looked as good since.
I understand, because sometimes when you go on a road to self-destruction, before you look at what got you there, you look at all the things where you should be. So before he probably even looked at what made me take the drugs and all that, because I seen when he was on the Joe Rogan show.
I'm not talking about the cocaine. I'm talking about the nandrolone that he got popped for fighting Christian Hamer. And I actually think that
he didn't talk about
the
that.
reason he's not talking to Peter Fury is because there was something to do with Peter and him being on nandrolone, because Huey got popped for it at the same time as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who? Huey Fury?
Huey Fury popped for nandrolone, same drug, at the same time. And since all of that's been resolved, Fury ain't spoken to, Tyson hasn't spoken to Peter. I'm really suspicious of it. I haven't got any proof.
Oh boy.
But it's very coincidental.
Just look. I don't know.
We were about to go to Yardman. Yardman, where are you? Where is the Yardman? Okay. So I'm gonna have to watch it. What were you gonna say before we move on? What were you gonna say?
No, go to Yardman.
No, you was gonna respond to the Huey Fury thing.
No, I had nothing to say.
Okay.
Oh, so Ralph, but you kind of agree with me. You kind of agree with me about him going to the bottom and seeing how he was treated when he went all the way to the bottom like that, right? I was saying the whole Fury thing.
How he was treated. How he was treated when he went to the bottom. How was he? I'll come back to that in a second. I'm gonna go over to the Yardman. Yardman, how you doing? Happy Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy Christmas, Happy New Year to you and the panel.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So have you been listening? Yeah. What's your take on this? What's your take on this situation?
The press with Wilder missing the press conference.
Yeah.
I think he's just shook. Remember, like deep in his head, he knows that Fury won the first fight. So, like being in Fury's present, Fury's gonna drag him, call him a dosser, right? I beat you, you big bum, you dosser. I dance around you for 12 rounds.
Raphie, I can't hear what Yardman's saying, and I've just checked on my phone. I can't hear it from my phone either. I can see it vibrating on the screen.
I can hear him. He's clear over here.
I don't know. Maybe it's
it's just me.
Okay.
I'm gonna come off YouTube and off my. Sorry, I'm gonna sign back in, Raphie.
Okay, no problemo. Okay.
Sometimes that happens with the stream where the person, just one person on, anybody else can hear.
That's weird. That is very weird.
A couple times.
That's weird. Okay, so let me just get through a couple of these comments, and then we're gonna switch topic. Seems people love this topic though, because the numbers keep going up and up and up. Where are we? Well, I can't remember where I was. AJ, yeah. Lisa Bailey says AJ understands British humor. Tyson is a big-ish talker. Yes, indeed, and it won't affect AJ. AJ will laugh at it. We have an expression over in the UK. We have an expression.
I don't know about that. AJ let Brazil trash talking get to him.
Yeah, that was a moment. I would
say Tyson Fury is in two different leagues of trash talking.
Okay, so your logic, the logic you're using is that if Brazil got to AJ, then Tyson will get to him even worse. Is that what you're saying?
With his trash talking, of course. Remember, before he even came back, remember they just started being cool again. Before that, them two was going back and forth hard too, and he was AJ kept telling him lose some stones and get back in the ring. Them two was supposed to fight. Them two was supposed to fight way before what you call it. If you think about it, AJ is the one that opened the door for Fury to even get back in the game.
Yeah.
Because if AJ would have they would have booked that fight with Wilder, then that would have never happened. The reason why he got in the door is because he like, oh, I heard y'all send the contract to him, so send it to me and I sign it. So once he did that, that just opened the door for him to be back in the game.
Yeah,
I know for sure that I can't even front Fury. He's up there in the trash talking.
Yeah, Fury's up there in the trash talking, but it won't phase Joshua not one tiny little bit. The thing with Brazil. Hold on. The thing with Brazil was just, AJ said himself, sometimes you're irritated. He was just irritable. He was irritable that day. And also,
so what about the big baby situation?
Hold on. And also, he was a young champion. He's way more seasoned now. He's been through the Jarrell Miller.
Jarrell Miller didn't get under his skin.
He went out. He's been through the Jarrell Miller situation, and he's a worse ish talker than Fury because he tries to get personal. Fury's not going to bring anybody's mom into this.
See, this is why I would say that even Miller is not even a good enough trash talker like which because Fury could get under your skin without even having this other he's not even in his class.
I think Miller's the worst. Miller's the worst for getting personal, getting real personal. Anything that what do you call him? Anything that Tyson Fury says, it will roll off the back of Anthony.
That's what you. I get it. We live, so if you would want to say that, but nah, Fury could get under anybody's skin the way he trash talks.
Not really,
because he was doing it before they even was scheduled to fight. So if they're scheduled to fight, he's really going to get under his skin because he was getting under his skin before that.
Did he get under Otto Wallin's skin?
Under who?
Otto Wallin. Did Fury get under Otto Wallin's skin?
Didn't have to do that with those guys.
Otto Wallin. He didn't phase him. Did Fury get under Tom Schwartz's skin? He didn't phase him.
But hold on. Is those fights going to be promoted like how the AJ and Fury fight is going to be promoted? He's going to have way more opportunities to talk about that fight than he would that what you call it guy? I don't even know how you say his name. Like he didn't even. I didn't even see that many interviews with Fury promoting that fight. How many interviews he did to promote that fight? Because he didn't do nothing in the States.
There wasn't much promotion, but we're gonna have to agree to disagree. YG, I don't think that Fury will get under.
The best way, what you call it, is to sign. If that fight is signed, then when it comes close and the trash talking start, we'll see where that lands.
We'll see where that lands. But I think that Joshua is from the UK. He knows Fury. He knows his style, and I don't think he'll phase him, not in the slightest little bit.
Can't wait for that one.
But you know something? I think we've chopped that one up extensively. Diced onions now. Diced onions now. Okay. The thing is very active. Seems like people are real active in this new year. Thing, we're going to not long left on now. Try to keep this thing short, tight, and precise. I know exactly where I want to go. I just need to find the window. You can imagine how many windows I've got open up over here. Something I really want to touch on.
Really, the welterweights, the lightweights.
Well, it's a guy I'm sure you're very familiar with, Gervonta Davis. Let me share my screen. We got to talk about this. Let me share my screen. And there he is. Okay. So, is that the one I want to go with? Yeah. So, Gervonta Davis, not Bob Arum, Leonard Ellaby has been talking up a storm about Gervonta Davis and his pulling power. Oh no, I got one window over there. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. So then at LB, Davis is one of the biggest draws in the sport of boxing today. 5 months after, I'm just gonna go looking for the pertinent points. I ain't gonna read all of this. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. So I'm looking for the pertinent points. I've been saying from his first world championship fight, Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the biggest draws. Somebody's making some noise over there. Mute yourself, please. I've been saying from his first world championship fight, Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the biggest draws in the sport. Ellaby insists. We saw it when he beat Jose Pedraza for his first world title. The crowd was all the way behind him, even in the co-feature as the co-main event to Badu Jack. Okay, we saw it when he went to England to defend his title and knocked out Liam Walsh. I didn't see that much, but anyway, now we're seeing it this year. 3 fights in 3 separate parts of the country, 3 sellouts in 3 different markets. While these events truly haven't sold out the venues to which Davis has played, there's no denying his drawing power, especially in his first full year as a headlining act. Okay, I don't want to go too deep with this. Where's the numbers at? Where's the numbers at? Okay, so following just 1 fight in a disappointing 2018 campaign, Davis rose from supporting capacity to headlining 3 shows in 2019. The year began with his 1-round wipeout of Hugo Ruiz, a late replacement for the medically scratched former 3-division titleist Abner Mares. The bout marked his first Showtime televised main event in the U.S., selling 6,581 tickets amongst an announced crowd of 8,048. Okay, from there came his long overdue homecoming with an announced attendance of 14,686 at the Baltimore Royal Farms Arena for his 2nd-round stoppage of Ricardo Nunes in his final title fight at 130 pounds. Davis followed up the feat by adding a 2nd divisional title to his collection with an estimated 30,000 tickets sold for the 3 events combined. Okay, where are we? Okay, so that's the question. That begs the question. Davis is one of the biggest draws in the sport. Why, Jay? Since you're American, let's lead off with you. Is this what do you make of that? What do you make of that comment by Leonard Ellaby?
Like this, those guys
seems like nonsense.
I mean, they selling tickets and like their whole focus is splitting the money. So after each fight, those guys split the money up and they happy. They whole look when you name your team the money team, and then you make you make money, you make business moves, not boxing moves. You make business moves. So like y'all corporation over there. I'm not knocking them because at the end of the day, everybody want to get their money. So it's like he might as well just say they might as well just keep on with the money team and just keep on with that. Like, but all of that, they're the biggest draw in boxing and all of that. I guess that's just something you got to say during your interviews. But the numbers, I know there's people that drew more numbers than that, and they're gonna say, yeah, this is his first year. So if this is his first year, then just say. Then you gotta word that correctly, like he's the newest, biggest star, whatever they trying to
fastest growing.
Well, it ain't the fastest growing. You can't say that because when Lomachenko won the title and is his second, you can't say that. There's people that won titles and for bigger, not bigger, higher ranked fighters and early in their career, you can't go with that. You can't word it like that. So they word it behind the money, but they're the money team. So like I don't respect it, but I don't knock it because I know they in it for the money. They name is the money team. So that's just how I leave it right there. I just leave it right there. Like they make business moves over there.
Okay, John D. Lee, what's your take on this?
Well, it's just a load of nonsense as far as I can tell.
Yep.
But that's pretty much Leonard Alabi's job, to sort of just chat rubbish.
Chat pure rubbish.
Gervonta Davis even claimed to be the cash cow.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, of what? Cash, like, I'm not going to sit here and try and make out like Lomachenko is some massive cash cow either. No. These guys are lightweights. You have to be seriously special to pull big numbers at that weight.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dillian White must be laughing his pants off. What's he done his last 3 fights? 60? No, not the Saudi fight.
No.
But prior to that, he sold out the O2 20,000, sold out the O2 20,000, sold out the O2 20,000.
Yeah.
And he's done 500,000 pay-per-view buys with someone, and he has never fought for a world title, Dillian. He's never actually been in a world title fight.
No, he hasn't.
So there's some numbers for you to actually have a think about instead of what have we got? 604,000 views on a free stream.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous.
It's free.
Absolutely ludicrous. So you're basing this off selling 11,000 tickets in Atlanta. It's not even 11,000 tickets in Las Vegas where it's big money on the tickets. I don't know what the ticket prices were in Atlanta, but it's not Vegas. It's not New York. It's not LA.
Yeah.
So maybe the gate was good. I'm not going to comment on that. If you're going to compare it to Loma's numbers, Loma's had 2 million views against Pedraza in America.
Yeah.
On the same format. Loma's sold out the O2, 20,000. I'm not sure the pay-per-views were too great with that. I think it was 200,000 pay-per-view buys.
Right.
That's the best number I could find on it. I couldn't find a lot. And that's UK as well. So, I mean, it's not a huge amount of money.
No.
But they're lightweights.
Yeah.
It's never going to appeal to the casual boxing fans.
Indeed.
Well, who was the last lightweight megastar? Because the only real one I can think of is Hansa Stone.
Yeah. Who was the last one? Who was the last lightweight?
Because Floyd wasn't a megastar at lightweight, was he?
No.
That's when Floyd was putting in the hard yards.
Yeah. That was when he was Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah, exactly. And he was fighting the fights and putting the yards in, and it weren't money then. He was trying to be great.
Yeah.
And as a lightweight, he was great.
He was.
But yeah. They're not going to fight Loma anyway.
Yeah. I get. Yeah, that's because the closest one that I would think in the States would be, I would say Mosley, but he didn't become a pay-per-view star until he fought De La Hoya. But he was putting in work down at the lighter weights where he was on the pound for pound list. But he fought like everybody, you got to move up in weight. See, that's the issue with the stars that when they at the lightweight, they got to move up in weight to fight somebody else to get on pay-per-view.
And that's the other thing about Tank's a fat featherweight. He's not a lightweight. He's a fat featherweight.
Yeah.
He's not big at the weight in any level, is he? How tall's Tank? 5'5".
Is he that 5'5", something like
He's
that?
quite a bit smaller than Lopez.
But we've had some crazy fights at the lightweight division, though. There's been some good fights down at that.
You get good for fights there. Teofimo Lopez Gomez was a great fight, but it doesn't cross over to the casuals. That's what that's what makes you the cash cow.
Yeah.
No, because I was gonna go back to the Castillo, Corral. Like, if you go a little bit further back, you got to happen in that week. I guess you'll say back when everybody was fighting each other.
I think the question was who was the last lightweight megastar.
Yeah, because that's why I said when you go, that's the only way you're gonna get on pay-per-view if you fighting somebody else. I mean, do you think
Tank Davis fights Vasil Lomachenko in 2020?
No.
Why? In your assessment, in your opinion?
Lomachenko is gonna fight this guy, Lopez in April.
Yeah.
And then so we have to see how that fight goes. Because if that fight is a draw or even if it's a close one way, we might get a rematch. So, and then if we get a rematch and that rematch won't come into what, September?
Yeah. The rematch with Lomachenko and Teofimo?
Yeah. That wouldn't come to like September.
Why would they have a rematch?
Because I'm saying because like first we have that fight might be close. However, like it could be a draw. We don't know what's gonna happen in the fight, so you can't just book fights like behind that. Like first he has to. There's a chance that they might have to fight again. If it's a good enough something like sometimes like just how we said the Mandana and Mayweather, like that wasn't a fight that you would going into that fight. Do you think he was gonna get a rematch? And this is a unification match. So there's a chance that because if Teofimo wins a close fight,
Porter and Spence. There was no rematch for Porter and Spence. You don't get no closer than that.
Well, I mean, there wasn't a chance to because this
Spence
guy
don't want that smoke.
This guy got in a car accident like right after that.
No. Even before that, there was like on to the next. I mean, he's supposed to be fighting Garcia next, wasn't he? That was already booked, Garcia. So the car crash had nothing to do with preventing that immediate rematch.
Yeah, you're right. Because
but I think YG has got
energy behind the fight, Ralph. Sometimes the energy behind the fight because that was a good fight, but you're right. That really wasn't. I guess they was going to give.
They was going to give it
a crack. You're right.
But what if Lopez wins?
You're right about that.
Then?
We'll say that again.
But I'm
if
talking
Lopez.
About Yeah,
if Lopez wins, then there's a rematch. But they're also saying that Tank is fighting Santa Cruz next at 130 anyway. They're talking about Tank going back down to 130 because I think they saw that his power didn't carry anyway. And let's be honest, if Tank Davis is going to keep fighting, he needs to stop blowing up like a fat frog in between fights and actually live the life.
Oh my gosh, it's for real though. Best he get his ample ass back down to 130 because for real, his power did not carry over the watcher.
So about Mr. Gervonta Davis, what was the question? It was.
I think we're talking about
will he fight Lomachenko next year?
We're talking about LB. No, that was just one element. There's a number of elements. One is LB saying that Tank is some big draw. One of the biggest draws. Sorry, one of the biggest draws in boxing. That's one element. Another element is, that's the main element. The other element is, do you see Tank fighting Vasily Lomachenko 2020 this year?
I don't think Tank's a draw. What? Who is Tank for?
Yeah.
Who has Tank for? Tank for, how old's Gamboa now? What, 30 something? Like late 30s or
38?
Okay, like no.
But that's out the window because Lomachenko said he want to unify, and now Tank has one of the belts. But I'm just saying that Lomachenko
he doesn't have a true belt. He's got the baby belt to the Loma's super belt, so
the
best he can be is a mandatory to Lomachenko.
I don't really even have much to say on the on the popularity of Tank Davis. because he's not the next Mayweather. I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
He gets hit far too much.
Yeah.
The power at 135, it looked like he had enough to stun someone, but not enough to finish someone, really. Even though he got the finish,
Yeah.
you know, he's fighting an old man who's past his prime. As far as fighting Lomachenko, what's Leonard saying? What's Leonard saying about that? Because Leonard's real funny. He makes me laugh with the shit he says.
Leonard says that you know, there's difference between a great fighter and being a star.
So who's the great fighter in this case?
Well, he's saying that, I think he's implying that Gervonta Davis is a star.
Well, he's
So
not.
He doesn't have to be a great. I mean, you have to read into it yourself. I can't tell you what to read into it, but that.
Yeah. But look, Leonard, like you said, he talks a bit of crap, right? And I don't mind Leonard, but he's a bit of a hater sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, it can be.
No, that's not going to happen. That fight, Haney and Loma looked to be more possible than. Look, don't even put Davis with Loma. I'm telling you, that's a bad fight for Davis.
Yeah.
Okay, Loma's more experienced. He's been up against much bigger men like Luke Campbell, Linares, the Mexican guy that beat him. You know, do not put him in with Loma. It is a bad choice. Yeah. Davis does not have anything for him.
Well, you could forget about Loma fighting Haney because he don't want to fight him.
Yeah, I don't know what went on with that.
That's over. He don't.
I don't know if I agree with that
either. Not
either.
to fight him.
Yeah, but YG, I've got a point on that. The Teofimo Lopez fight for Lomachenko is an in-house fight. Eddie Hearn has forced Bob Arum to fight two of his fighters against Lomachenko as mandatories and pushed the mandatories and then won the purse bids. Bob is not making any money from Loma. So I think Bob Arum petitioned the WBC to make Lomachenko franchise champion so he didn't have to face a mandatory so that he could do the in-house unification fight easily. And that's what's happened.
That's not it. Because I think Loma's back is painted up against the wall. Loma never wanted to fight this Lopez kid. You see his face after the fight.
I think Lopez is winning though, so I think Bob.
Yeah,
Bob wants his fighter to beat Lomachenko.
Nah, what I really think happened is those were his two options. Either he was gonna have to wait and fight the winner of Lopez and Cormier, or fight Devin Haney, and he chose to fight the winner of that, and he really kind of thought that that Cormier was gonna win because he even after that that's why I agree with Ralph when he said, "Yo, do you think Tank is gonna fight him?" Because after that he said, "Oh, I want this fight, and then I want Tank Davis." He not even thinking about trying to fight Haney. He wants to fight Tank more than he wants to fight Haney.
I think Bob's got a bigger say in this, and I think Bob wants Loma to fight Teofimo Lopez to have the in-house fight. That's my point.
Yeah, it seems the most logical thing. Why throw Lopez in there? How many fights has Lopez got? 15 fights, really and truly, on a logical level. On a logical level, why is it logical that Lopez would go in there so early on 15 fights? One of the best, one of the pound for pound best. Is it really logical? I mean, is it really in Lopez's best interest as a guy with only 15 fights? I say, yeah, it's a golden opportunity and go for it. But I think the fact that Bob is the promoter of both has a heavy bearing on this fight being made so early. 15 fights, really, it's not logical. On a lot of levels.
Well, it's the other way. It was as a unification.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
But that's what painted him into the. That's what I'm saying. That painted him into the corner because he had an option to go another way. For instance, y'all saying y'all saying don't put the young kid in there with Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
He's the bigger puncher.
Yeah, he's the bigger puncher.
That's not what I'm saying because I think
He's the
size
bigger
is catching
puncher,
up.
bigger body.
Size
If
is catching
anything-
up to Lomachenko for me.
If
I
anything,
don't think Lomachenko is going to survive at lightweight. I think it's a step too far.
Yeah.
I think Lopez is going to be the one to take him out. And if Bob Arum's seen that, he'd rather have his fighter do it than somebody else, than Devin Haney do it. What if Devin Haney knocked out Lomachenko?
Oh my god.
Whereas if Teofimo Lopez does it, Bob's got a star in his hands.
Yeah. But 15 fights. That's early. That's early in the game.
I mean, he's a champ. He's a champion, and Loma got his in 20. I mean, in 2.
Yeah.
Loma's got a far deeper experience. Far deeper experience. He went to 2 Olympics. Man went to won 2 golds in 2 separate Olympics.
And now he's long in the tooth. So it's like y'all said too. If you think about it from that way, it is a time. If Bob's going to cash in, he might as well cash in with a younger fighter.
He's a featherweight as well, Raphie. That's the real issue for me. Like,
he's
Loma's a natural featherweight, and Teofimo Lopez may well have to move up from lightweight soon because he's a big guy. How old is he? He's young, isn't he? He's like early 20s.
Yeah, Teofimo.
He's going to be there for years to come, unless
you think he's going to stay at lightweight. YG?
Yeah,
you don't think he'll move up to 140?
140? It makes no sense for him to move up to 140 right now.
No, not now. So what I'm saying is, get him to beat Loma, because I think he beats him with size and power. Make him a star, and then in 5 years, when he moves up towards welterweight, you've got a big star in your hands, haven't you? That's what I think. There's a massive potential for Teofimo to be a big star. He's Hispanic.
He's 22.
If he beats
5
Loma,
years, you can see Bob Arum still around for 5 more years.
Bob
Arum might think he's going to be around for 5 more years, though.
Bob Arum will be around for a long time, man. Bob Arum's got that. He's on the CBD oil. You know,
I think it's strictly THC, Raphie.
Okay, so the watcher. Oh, hold on. Yardman. Is Yardman here? Sorry. Yardman's here. Yardman. Come on in.
How is my audio sounding now?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. Can everybody hear Yardman?
Yeah, I'm all good.
I can hear him.
Okay. Okay, we good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, as it in regards to Gervonta Tank.
Yeah.
I think he's up there with all of them. I think he's one of the better fighters at 130. Probably not so much at 135. I don't think his power transfers to that division. But I think if he's fit and focused, I think he could compete with all of them. And I think Loma would beat him, though.
Lomachenko
beat him at 130.
Beat Tank.
Yeah, and with him saying that he's the cash cow, I think he's saying that the biggest fights that are to be made at 130 and 135 has to involve him and other one of those guys. All right?
Yeah.
He's the biggest money fight with any one of those guys.
Who is Tank?
Yeah, Tank. I think that's what he means.
Tank. Yeah. Who said nah?
No, he's still big. That YG. I don't think he's the biggest draw out of those guys.
No, he said with those guys.
Any one of them.
With those guys.
With any one of them.
So if he's matched up with one of those guys, then it's a big draw. Says Yardman.
That's what I think he's saying. Yeah.
No, that's just Leonard Ellaby, which because I mean, obviously if we throw in the Mexican crowd versus a Lomachenko, it'll be a bigger fight. If you throw it all depends if Lomachenko is gonna move back to 130. But I don't know.
Which Mexican fighter would Loma fight? Which popular Mexican fighter can Loma fight?
If he moves back down, because they said Santa Cruz is moving up.
That's the fight they're talking about. Santa Cruz has moved up to 130, and he's a PBC fighter, so I think that's the next fight for Tank.
He's still a big They were saying, but I don't see that because I don't see him moving back down in weight. First of all, his body wasn't even compact at that. He wasn't in good shape. He wasn't.
Yeah, but YG, if he's
still
gonna
gotta
do
get that
anything,
champ
he
That's what
needs
when
to
y'all
get
saying
into
the power
shape.
wasn't. When
He
y'all
needs
said
to
the
get
power
into
wasn't
shape.
there, yeah, he wasn't compact. Your body has to be nice, tight, and firm. Like it wasn't that scenario. Like he got to get it together.
I think
He's smooth at 135. He should easily be able to make 130.
He can't. He had to give the title up on the scales one time. What do you mean easily make it? Like
Yeah, but
it
depends how you do it. If you try and make it in a 12-week camp, then no. If you're walking around at 135, 140 in between fights, then making it's a breeze. I'm sorry, Tank's like 5'5". There's no way he should be walking around at the weights he walks at in between fights. He's a little fat person. He's like a hobbit. And
this is what I'm saying.
He should be looking like an athlete.
You're saying that, and you're trying to tell him to cut back down to 130, like that.
What I'm saying to you, YG, is if he lost weight sensibly, right, so that he didn't balloon up in between fights, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, because he started off at featherweight and he only went to 130 because he couldn't make featherweight, again through poor discipline, not through natural size. Tank isn't going to be losing any muscle to get down to 130. He was smooth in that ring against Gamboa. He was smooth. And there's just no excuse for it. Think about Olympic sprinters. They don't compete for 6 months of the year. When do you see those guys fat? They're not fat in the winter. Why do boxers think that they could do what they do is arguably a harder sport? Why do they think they can get fat in between fights?
How can you
When
get
did
fat?
you see Floyd fat in between a fight?
But his body.
When did you see Floyd?
Hold on.
He's
But before you jump
smooth.
to that, you got to think about somebody's body. Everybody's body and everyone's metabolism is not the same. Like his bone structure is the reason why he's tanked.
YG, I do know quite a bit about this sort of thing.
I see what you're saying, but you're trying to compare his body and his metabolism to other people. That it doesn't work like that.
No, I'm saying he gets fat because he drinks alcohol and eats poor food choices when he's not fighting. It's got nothing to do with metabolism and body type at all.
I've coached a lot of guys that are 5'5", and they don't get fat like when they're that size. You can't do it unless you're not disciplined, and Davis is not disciplined. End of.
Yeah, it's ill discipline. It's not a question of what's that tapping? Who's tapping? It's not a question of body type. It's a question of keep whatever your metabolism, whatever your body type, you still need to keep control of your weight, your body weight, and your activity levels need to be up in the off season also. You still need to control your body weight. You still need to monitor your activity levels. It's called staying in reasonable condition, even though it's your off season, even though you're in between fights. You make it easier for yourself to get into fighting condition when you don't stray too far away from your fighting weight. I don't think anybody's suggesting that he stays on fighting weight, but the issue is when he strays away, it's too far away from fighting weight in between fights, and that comes down to a lack of discipline. It doesn't come down to metabolism, slow metabolism, or body type. It comes down to eating too much and not doing enough physical activity. Now, if he has any problems with that, he's a rich man now. He can afford to have a professional. He can afford to hire a nutritionist. He can afford to hire a personal trainer. Even though if he's working in a boxing gym, I don't even think he'd need to hire anybody. There's people out there to go on runs with every day. But he probably might need some kind of personal trainer to set him out a regimen, set him out a plan, in between fight plan, an off-season plan, so he can maintain a reasonable level of fitness. So he needs that. He needs a plan, and also needs a diet plan. He also needs a diet plan. So that is the Tank Davis situation. Okay, I'm going to go around the horn. You can do your final thoughts on that topic before we move to the last topic. Let's start off with John Dealey. Final words on the topic.
All the great fighters lived a life. Andre Ward was not the most talented boxer, but he was never out of shape, and he made the most out of the talent that he had. Tank is the opposite. He is a talented boxer, and he's squandering the talent he's got. So, and there's no excuse for it, because Floyd, his mentor, was always in shape.
Yeah.
So,
good point. The Watcher.
Yeah, I totally agree with what he just said. I mean, you know, it speaks for itself. Look, I don't have much to say about Davis. He's lazy. I don't appreciate his you know, I don't appreciate it. I really don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got to say about it.
And over to Yardman.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Tank Davis needs to change his lifestyle and focus more on boxing. And I think he's able to make the weight. Remember when he lost his belt on the scale, he went back in the other fight and he made 130. I think he even came in at 130. Right? So he can make the weight. I think it's more of a lifestyle change, you know?
Yeah.
It's just indiscipline with him.
Yeah, definitely needs to change up his lifestyle in between fights. He's not doing himself any favors. Yardman.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You were talking about Loma and Teo fight?
Yeah.
Oh, I got Teofimo Lopez winning that fight.
Damn.
I think he's too big. He's too big for Loma. I think he struggles to make 135.
Yeah.
And Loma is a little bit undersized even at that weight. I think he's gonna be too powerful for him, man. I think he's gonna knock.
So you think Lopez is gonna knock out Lomachenko?
I think he's gonna knock him out.
Damn. Okay.
And how old is Teofimo? 22, 23?
Teo is 22, yeah.
Yeah, he's in it. He's just entering his prime. He's
nowhere near his prime, really. He's just a baby right now.
Yeah, he's. I think he's too young and he's too big and powerful for Loma.
YG.
Yeah, I agree with him too. Tank has to change his diet up and his lifestyle, but I don't think he needs to move back down to 130. I think he needs to stay at 135. That's where the money could really be made. They call themselves the money team. They need to stay there. And I also kind of agree with the Teofimo thing. I think he's too big. I don't know if he's going to catch the knockout. Or maybe because you could call a technical knockout with a referee, but I don't think he's going to flatline him. But yeah, I think he's going to beat Loma too, though.
You think he's going to beat Loma? Damn.
Because Loma doesn't even sound too confident about the fight. When you hear Loma talk about him, he sounds shaky. He sounds way more confident talking about Tank than he does Lopez. And that's even when Lopez was calling him out. He still feel more comfortable talking about Tank. So I don't know. We'll see. But he said, and another thing too. Right now, they still haggling to get the fight moved out of New York because they know that Lopez has a lot of supporters in New York. Yeah, y'all heard about that, right?
Yeah.
That they haggling to get the fight moved.
Hold on. What do you mean? Haggling to get the fight moved. What do you mean?
They're trying not to get Lomachenko's people is just trying to get the fight moved from New York
To where?
Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why don't they want it in New York?
Because they saying Lopez has a strong following there. They don't want the crowd to be too heavy Lopez.
Yeah, lots of
They don't want
Latinos.
him to have
I
too
thought
much.
there was a lot of Ukrainians there as well. Loma's done all his best gates.
That is the
New
same
York.
thing that I thought until I read the what you call it about that. Like I was thinking, like, wow, he's trying to get the fight moved, and then like reading that and then going back and seeing how he was talking about Lopez after Lopez got the knockout. He don't want that fight. He don't want that fight.
Yeah, Loma was saying he was worried about getting booed in New York because
Really?
it's gonna be
YG.
Teofimo.
YG, is Teofimo a Brooklyn native? Because I know he's Honduran, but was he born in Brooklyn?
He lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was just wondering if he was actually born in Brooklyn as well. I know he's
Yeah,
Honduran.
he was born in the United States, but his mom and his dad is from Honduras.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a lot of local support there, to be fair.
Yeah,
But he did participate in the Olympics for Honduras, did he not?
yes, he did.
Yeah. So I think he was born in Honduras, but he moved over to.
You can do that though, because Andy Ruiz was born in the States and he participated for Mexico.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, in the States,
it's just
you
like
can go.
track and soccer, right? You were born in America, but you can represent.
Yeah, you can still represent another country.
Oh, his birthplace is Brooklyn, New York. I just see.
Yeah, you could do that in the States. You could be born here and go represent somebody else.
Yeah, but he was born in Brooklyn though. I've just seen it.
Yeah.
He's born in Brooklyn. Brooklyn born. Okay. So where are we in the chat?
Yeah, Ralph. So I know it's a little early, but that's 3 months away. But so far, what you got that fight looking like?
Okay. So you're asking me. I think that the consensus is that Lopez is gonna knock out. Vasily Lomachenko. That's the consensus. I'm going against the consensus, even though it's a good shout. It's a very good shout. I'm going against the consensus, and I'm saying that Lomachenko out-angles him. Lomachenko bamboozles him with the angles. I don't think Teofimo Lopez is going to be able to work out the angles of Lomachenko. I hear the consensus view, and it makes sense. But I'm staying with Loma. I think he's still got something left in the tank, even though Lopez is definitely a powerhouse and will continue to be a powerhouse in that kind of division, and move up at some point. Lopez is a powerhouse. He's one for the present, and his talent will carry over into the future. But I don't think Loma is going to relinquish it just yet. I don't think so. I still think that Loma's going to out-angle him, confuse him, bamboozle him, and win. Whether by points or KO, I'm not ready to make that judgment yet, but I still think that Loma has got the beating of the younger, stronger Lopez. We gonna see. Yeah, good to have you back, Nicole. It's been a very busy season for us all. Lisa Bayless says Tio is too big. He'll probably move up soon. Yeah, I'm expecting he'll move up soon, but I am definitely looking forward to that fight. Definitely look forward to that fight. You have to become a citizen of that respected country. Yeah. Okay. And what time is it now? Okay. We're going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it. One last topic. It's going to be a quick one. It's going to be a short and concise one. Where is that? Okay, there it is. Got it first time. Let's move that down to where I need it to be. Let's move that to where I need it to be, and then we can commence. Okay, move up. Okay, let me share. Let me share my screen. Boom and boom. Okay, so we're there. Okay, so news. An interview has just come out. Anthony Joshua gave an interview today or late yesterday where he says, I'm confident. He says he's confident that he would blast out Wilder in 6 rounds. Okay, so the IBF, WBO, IBO, WBA heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is very confident that he would take down the WBC champion Deontay Wilder in 6 rounds of action. A potential unification bout betwixt the two is viewed as the biggest fight in boxing. Wilder will make a world defense on February 22nd in a rematch with Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Okay, in his November defense, Wilder was down on the scorecards after 6 rounds, but landed a single punch in the 7th to knock out Luis Ortiz. Joshua explains that he would become a similar victim because he takes Wilder out before the 7th. He would not. Oh, damn. Joshua explains, poorly written article here. Joshua explains that he would not become a similar victim because he takes Wilder out before the 7th. He wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be there to do that in the 7th round. I would go in to knock him out. It's a heavyweight against a heavyweight. Champion versus champion. This is a serious fight. I ain't going in there to go and try and outbox him for 12 rounds because of his punching power. I've got to go in there and take him out. Don't let him get too comfortable in the ring. Joshua is not afraid of Wilder's power, despite the unbeaten puncher knocking out opponents with a single shot on a regular basis. Nah, he's not scary. Nah, not scared. But I know it's there, said Joshua. I know his power's there. There are certain punches. Some are like concussive. Some are stinging. And some are punches where they knock you out with one punch and you're out for the count. Wilder possesses that kind of power. But it's about eliminating that power and just studying how to deal with it. Joshua is slated to make a defense in the coming months, potentially against IBF mandatory challenger Kubrat Pulev. Last month in Saudi Arabia, Joshua reclaimed his world titles with a 12-round unanimous decision shutout again in his rematch against Andy the Ponce Ruiz. Okay, so let's stop sharing. Go back over. Okay, so you're gonna learn messages pop up around here. Okay, so Joshua, to put it in a nutshell, Joshua says that he takes out Wilder in 6. Joshua says that he acknowledges Wilder's power, but also that he knows how to. There are ways and means of dealing with that type of power, and yeah. he would study for Wilder. They would come up with a plan for Wilder to nullify his big right hand or his knockout potential. What do I think about this? I think that what we saw in AJ's last fight against Ruiz shows that he's taking the game exceptionally seriously. Joshua is taking this game exceptionally seriously. Whereas Ruiz flunked off for three months after his victory over Joshua. Joshua had a week off, 2 weeks off, had a couple of weeks off, and then boom, was straight back in the gym, reorganizing the team and coming up with the strategy to beat Ruiz. Not just coming up with a strategy, but also strategies to make sure he didn't stray away from the agreed strategy. So what that's shown me is that Joshua has a setup now, not just Rob McCracken, but multiple parts, multiple players who clearly can work together to formulate plans and strategies for victory. It's highly. Oh, also what Joshua said, it's in the video. Go check my video after this on the topic, same topic. Joshua also said that, they will formulate a strategy to nullify Deontay Wilder's weapons. And he also said, in what I was about to say, he also said that Deontay Wilder has been a champion has got twice as many fights as him. Has been a champion for 4 going on 5 years, almost twice as long as Joshua. But he has thus far failed to unify, not even once. Hasn't unified, not even once. And Joshua goes on to say that if he's really about it, if he's really about one name, one face, one champion, then he knows where we are. He can come and see us. And I like that from Joshua. No more chasing. No more chasing. No more chasing after Wilder. Joshua says if he's really interested, he can come and see us. So who am I going with first? I'm going with Yardman.
Oh, you're going with Yardman?
Going with Yardman. Yeah, I'm giving you time to formulate your strategies, YG. Don't worry. Yardman.
Yeah. First of all,
sorry, Yardman. Sorry to cut you off. I'll come back to you in a second. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, follow me on Twitter. Those are some of the things you can do to support the thing. And don't forget the PayPal button is there. Don't be afraid to hit it with a small donation. It's not mandatory. It's optional. Yardman.
Yeah, first of all, I think they can both knock each other out. And for AJ to win that fight, I think he can't go in there with the same weight that he fought Andy Ruiz with in the second fight.
That's interesting.
I think he has to put on back the weight, go up to about 250 and just be himself. Because he's powerful enough to knock Wilder out for sure. He's the better boxer. He can't go in there like he wants to outbox Wilder. That ain't gonna work.
No, that's what he said.
He has to go. He has to go for the knockout.
Yeah.
And he has to put on back the weight. That's all.
Okay.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
Where do you think the fight is gonna happen if it does happen?
If that fight were to happen, probably be Saudi Arabia again.
You think so?
I hope not. I hope it's in the UK, but I think Saudi Arabia will be favored.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong. I want to see in the UK.
If the fight takes place in the UK,
yeah,
I think AJ will win for sure.
Why?
the home crowd, and I don't think Wilder have seen so many people in one place before. I think that will definitely shake him up.
Yeah,
a bit. Yeah, but I think Joshua can win the fight. He just has to be himself.
yeah,
Don't go in there trying to outbox Wilder, because as you know, that could turn against you. That could work against you.
Okay, so the Watcher.
Big words from AJ. Knock him out. This is his best approach. He can't give Wilder space by trying to box him.
Yeah.
He can still be hit. It is the head movement of AJ. It is not the feet. The feet are good. It's the head movement. The most head movement I see from AJ is a little kind of like upper body movement, but that's more with his shoulders and maybe just ducking below or like a roll. Apart from that, I don't see him pulling back much, slipping, bobbing and weaving. And these tall guys don't have to. But if he tries to knock out Wilder, he has to smother him. He has to hold him. He has to go on the inside, get a bit dirty. Sort of like an AJ we haven't seen. A combination of the Klitschko fight and maybe Brazil, and using the counters like he did in the Charles Martin's fight. He has to go for that approach, but he can't get tired. And AJ gets tired when he tries to unload like he did in the Klitschko fight. But I doubt he'll get tired. It's just that he's very square at times, and that's good for Wilder. And on the back foot, Wilder can throw some wicked punches. I'm not saying Wilder's always good on the back foot, but most of the time he is. So that one for me, 50-50. But I give an edge to Wilder because Wilder's harder to hit. Wilder, for me, has better stamina and he's got that power. So, yeah.
So you got Wilder on that.
Just. I'm an AJ fan too. I love AJ.
Yeah. So I want to address Tanaris Robinson, always coming with the controversy. LDBC up in the building. Joshua just trying to stay relevant. Are you Tanaris? No disrespect, but are you crazy right now? Are you crazy right now? Stay relevant. Stay relevant after what happened in Saudi Arabia. Yo, that victory sent ripple effects across the world, across the whole damn entire spherical world. So talking about staying relevant when you've just pulled off one of the biggest feats of 2019 in probably the biggest fight of 2019. Who am I going with? Who we had? Yeah, so it's got to be YG. YG, I know you're ready for this.
Wow, I mean, I was listening to some of the points. It was almost laughable a little bit. Like you can't take a lot of that to face value because this is just somebody. AJ was being interviewed, right? And he's answered these questions. He's being put on the spot when he asked.
No, you saying what he. Okay, carry on. Sorry, carry on.
So cause the guy, he's like, well, I'm not gonna be around for the 11th round because I'm gonna end it early in the 6th. So I'm thinking like, hold on. So you're trying to say you don't want it to be in the 11th round because he could be still too strong. So you're gonna try to go end it early while he's at the strongest. Like that's hogwash. Y'all know he's gonna. The best thing to do with Wilder is try to take it later in rounds to try to at least let him tire out to knock him out. Like you're not gonna try to go in there and exchange with a power puncher early in the fight. So that before six round stuff, we could just throw that out the window. And then as far as the unification thing goes, Like he tried to make some unification fights, but he couldn't get them. They overpaid for Charles Martin. Well, I can't say overpaid because Charles Martin went with the highest bidder. All right, so that happens.
Yeah, they overpaid
So
him. If he's getting paid significantly over his pay grade, that's overpaying. But carry on.
No. You know why? The only reason why I don't like saying that because, like, in these days, like, basically, if you let the promoters say how much a person is worth and all of that, then everybody's going to get a certain amount of money. Like, we gotta raise the pay grade, like in sports, and like the pay grade gets raised, and then y'all gotta keep it that way. But by letting the promoters tell people, you get this and you get this. This is why when somebody finally break through, like, yo, this is what I'm worth, we say it's overpaid. But no, he really opened his eyes. Like, wait a minute, if I go to the UK over there and fight, that's gonna be a big fight. I need 7 to 8 million. That's not overpaid. That's actually paid right because the fight made more money than that. Right? Overpaid is when you pay somebody and the people that's throwing the fight, they don't make their money back.
Well, there's different definitions of overpaying. I would say that's your definition. My definition would be paying someone significantly over
what they've been paid before.
Significantly over that, yeah.
But then again, for Martin, when was he ever a champion before that?
Excuse me, say that again.
See, Martin got paid that extra money because he won the title.
Yeah.
So I'm a champion. Pay me like I need to be paid. I don't want to straight off of that.
No, let me put it a different way. How much do you think Charles Martin would have got paid if the fight was against Deontay Wilder?
No, yeah, I heard that they was only offering him like 5. I don't know see those numbers are behind the, what you call it. So that's speculation.
500,000. 500,000.
It was 500,000.
So for every 100,000, every hundo that he would have got against Wilder, he got $1 million against Joshua. That's overpaying, bro.
That's what was reported. But see, that's not
overpaying, bro.
Or would you want to say if he would have took that fight, then he would have been underpaid?
What? Underpaid? Okay.
Yeah, because
if you're underpaid. Okay.
If you're a champion, how are you getting paid? How are you getting paid 500,000 to fight another champion?
Well, that's what Deontay Wilder was offering him.
No, that's not what Deontay. That's what the promoters for Wilder was offering him.
That's what Deontay Wilder's side. That's what Deontay Wilder. Obviously, right, Deontay Wilder ain't paying nobody nothing, but that's what Deontay Wilder's side was paying him.
That's all right. That's what the promotion, these people. But we can't confuse it. Act like the boxers is sitting down cutting up money because that's not how it goes.
No, I never said that.
No, I'm just saying. Like sometimes we do that a lot when we name how much somebody promoter is trying to pay. We say, "Oh, it's dumb." Like because Bob Arum is only offering Danny Garcia 3 or 4 million. It's Terrence Crawford who's lowballing him. No, it's the promoter. The fighter doesn't handle negotiations.
So any which way you cut it, it was a handsome offer to.
Nah, for real, and that's why earlier today we was talking about who was one of the best promoters, and I gave it to Eddie Hearn. Because if you're willing to spend money to get fighters in the ring with your fighters, you're doing everything you have to do to get the best fights made. If you're willing to pay somebody more than anybody else is willing to pay to get your fighters to fight, then to me, you're the best promoter.
Okay, so yeah, back to the key points though.
Oh, yeah. So, but the key points is again, like that was just like I was trying to say. That was an interview, and he was just what you call it. Like that was hogwash. I don't take that stuff at face value.
You don't take that stuff at face value. So how do you see the fight going? What's if you well, forget about that. But I think one of the other key points that Joshua said was that you know where we are. If you're serious, one name, one face, one champion. If you're serious, you know where to come. But let me just throw in another question. It's the last topic. Damn, we run way over time. How come Deontay Wilder's been a champ for like 4 or 5 years now and he hasn't unified once? You're an American, so that's why I'm asking you.
We just that's what was the what you call it? Charles Martin, they got outbidded for the Martin fight.
Yep.
Eddie Hearn has been a better promoter, and he basically overpaid the other fighters to fight his fighter.
Okay, let me stop you there. So, let the record show that YG, after arguing that Charles Martin was not overpaid, has just said.
No, hold on, time out. No, not over. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say he
There ain't
outbidded.
no holding on. There ain't no holding on. There ain't no holding on. After arguing that Charles Martin was not overpaid, let the record show. Let the record show. Let the court documents show that YG just slipped up and said that Eddie Hearn is the best promoter because he overpays fighters. Oh my OMG.
No, I mean he's paying.
There ain't no going back. There ain't no going back.
I mean, if you wrong something in the word on this channel, if you word something wrong, you can't correct your wording. So
No, hold on. We had a long conversation where you said that he was not overpaid people, and then you came back and you said clearly and categorically. Clearly and categorically. We know what you said, bro. We know what you said. You said clearly and categorically that Eddie Hearn is the best promoters because he overpays for fighters.
No, I said he was the better promoter because he overpaid. He outbidded. I mean,
overpays.
The best word was supposed to be outbidded.
Overpays.
Nah, like, but you can't. Yo, you got me. I can't. Yo, you got me on that. I can't even. What you call it? Nah,
you can't screw that, bro.
For the listeners.
It's cool, but it's cool because it shows that we're on the same page. We're on the same page. Oh, it's okay. It's all good, bro. It is all good. But your final point, though, YG, before we go.
Nah. But and his promotion for AJ over Wilder, AJ has had better promotion in terms of scheduling the other title fights where they was willing to pay the fighters to come fight him. That's why he haven't had any unifications.
Say that again, please. I was focused.
I was saying and the quest to get each fighter title fights, AJ side has paid better to get the unification bouts. That's how Wilder has yet to get a unification fight.
Yeah, because these people aren't repping him properly.
And that's well known. Even though I know there's people that's diehard Wilder fans, they have to agree to that.
These people, you
have to agree that the promotion has not been there. Because basically the overpay word is really kind of an excuse to say, well, I'm not paying that much money to get this guy here, but that's what you have to do. Like they just were saying, oh, they overpaid for Mikey Garcia for $7 million for him to go over there. But like when guys are free agents, those are the times for they're gonna get paid more than what they're worth. Or what they usually, or they're gonna get paid more than what they usually pay.
Let the court record show that once again YG has walked into the trap once again. You keep on doing it, YG. You need to come here more often, brother. You need to come here more often, brother.
No, I definitely will. I like the way your show is run. After you speak, everybody goes on mute. It's not too much talking over each other. This was nice. I really feel like I started the new year off right coming over here.
Started the new year off right. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. And hit that bell icon. What else did I mean to say? Oh, yeah. Follow me on Twitter. And don't forget the PayPal button. It's not mandatory. Entirely optional. John D. Lake.
Well, I definitely think AJ was serious with his statement. Whether he's right or not is a separate issue. Mm-hmm. But I'm a massive believer that the way that you beat Wilder is to knock him out, because there's nothing to show me that Wilder has a great chin. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot to show me Wilder has fantastic stamina.
Yeah.
So you're not going to outlast him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looks at Wilder's power, but I'm going to be brutally honest on his power. Yes, there's an eye test to say there's great power there.
Mm-hmm.
but there isn't somebody of notable durability that he's actually knocked out. There's no. I don't rate Ortiz, so people will disagree with me on that anyway. That's fine. But he has the power to knock out big men, but does he have the power to? Because I mean, if you look at Dominic Brazil, that Polish Ibo guy. What's his name? I struggle with his name.
Silka? Dominic Brazil?
No. The Nigerian.
Kawanaki.
No, he's actually Nigerian.
Nigerian?
Yeah, Iziogu. You know, it's the one where Brazil got knocked down, then he got up and he knocked him out again.
Oh, yeah.
He was a stable mate of Parker. Yeah. He's a Polish national. He's actually an Igbo guy. He's Nigerian Igbo.
I thought you said hippo. Sorry, man. Sorry.
All of my in-laws are listening to this.
No. I genuinely misheard you.
It's fine. My brother accent's not the easiest to decipher.
I thought the Polish African hippo. I thought.
Raphie didn't know what I was talking about.
Damn. You had me. You threw me for a loop.
Is he an Izugu? I struggle with his name.
Izugu. Yeah, is he an Enugu or Izugu?
Yeah. That guy put Brazil down.
Yeah.
So AJ didn't clean him out fast. AJ addressed that in that interview about what he thought about that. Mm-hmm. That's the one where maybe there was a bit of hogwash. If anyone wants to say there was some hogwash, maybe there's something there. And there's a really interesting interview with AJ where he talked about Rob McCracken wanting to be a better trainer.
Yeah.
Referring to bringing in Angel Fernandez into the camp.
Indeed.
I think for Wilder, they'll bring in somebody else to help them form the game plan that they believe to beat Wilder.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I personally think the way to beat him is to knock him out. And and to take away his right hand. Mm-hmm. Now, they might get it wrong and get knocked out by Wilder, and I'm not saying that isn't the case, but if you're AJ, I think you need to believe you can knock him out in 6 rounds. Or why not just give up now?
Yeah. 100%. Obviously, I think what we've seen from AJ is that he's a believer. He's a believer now. Just posted something. I'm not seeing it. There it is. Okay. Yeah. He's a believer. He's a student. He's a thorough student, and more so now than ever before. A thorough student of the game. And he can formulate with his team. His team can formulate game plans, and on appearances, last time out, it seems that he can stick to game plans.
Willie admitted that he didn't want to stick to it, but he did it anyway. He admitted.
Again, I've just seen something funny in the chat. Say that again. Say that again.
Well, in the post-fight interviews, AJ admitted he wanted to go rush in and trade with him, and he resisted the temptation.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right, Mr. Robinson. If AJ is irrelevant, he can just enjoy getting paid £85 million for his verses. Maybe irrelevance is the best thing for him, since he had the highest purse of anybody last year.
That is incredible how the man who's bringing in those bucks, making ground-breaking moves, is irrelevant. You're crazy, bro.
Two-time unified champion.
One-time
unified champion.
2-time. You're crazy, but I appreciate you coming over here, bringing that LDBC flavor. Bringing over that LDBC flavor. Wilder was outboxed by Fury. There we go. Gareth Williams. I haven't seen Gareth around these parts for a long time.
What I would be interested in is actually seeing what Joshua comes out next time, because I also think that trying to box Pulev from the outside is not the best plan either. I think you need to take it to Pulev, jump all over him, and get him out of there.
You have to step into Pulev. You have to step into Pulev.
Yeah, he controls distance really well and's got a great job.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens if that is the fight that's made.
Indeed. Tanaris. Yeah, he has 2 belts and makes the most money. Oh, my OMG. Exactly. Tanaris. I love your spirit, my friend, but just try and keep it a little bit more factual, maybe. Just a touch more factual. Tanaris.
Which comments that, Raphie?
Tanaris. Well, all of them. All of his comments.
The relevancy one was good. That's got to be up there for daft comments.
That's got to be up there. I appreciate your LDBC logic to Tanaris. I do appreciate it.
You see, I mean, why can't he just like keep it logical like the Watcher did? Watcher's got a good basis for why he thinks Wilder's gonna win.
Yeah.
And I can't say there's anything wrong with what he said because he's definitely right. I think Wilder's awkward to hit. I think his movement and getting out of way of shots is also underrated. His stamina, everybody overlooks that. Wilder's got great stamina. I think he's got the best gas tank in the heavyweight division.
Yeah. But
power,
he goes on economy for me. But he cruises on economy. He's not.
Well, he did against Tyson. He threw a lot of heavy shots and missed a lot of heavy shots, and a lot of people get gassed in that situation. And he put Tyson down in the 12th. So
that's a fair point.
I think that's more a tactical thing.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
So I think he genuinely has that gas tank.
What? Ortiz was very durable, says what? Well, so.
Well, that's just absolute nonsense. Ortiz has never been in with a puncher. The only puncher, go through his box rate record, because I had an argument with somebody in 2014, I think it was, on Twitter about Ortiz having a chin.
Damn.
Ortiz has never faced a puncher.
Damn.
Ever.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy, yo.
Like, he is just living off knocking out Brian Jennings.
He's living off knocking out Brian Jennings, and he's also been incredibly hyped up. What has he done?
I think the other thing is
Ortiz done.
The death of amateur boxing in America has given a mystique to Cuban fighters. But most people don't realize 2 things about Ortiz. He didn't fight at super heavyweight in the amateur game, and he wasn't in the first string of the Cuban team.
He was in the B stream.
Yeah, but he was also fighting at their equivalent in the amateur rankings to cruiserweight. Because it's heavyweight and super heavyweight, isn't it, in amateur boxing?
Yeah.
And Ortiz fought at heavyweight, not super heavyweight.
And he was in the B stream. He wasn't in the A stream for the Olympics. So I don't understand this hyping up of Luis Ortiz.
I can tell you what it is, Raphie. There's no amateur boxing in America anymore.
Damn.
Andre Wood's still the last gold medalist, isn't he?
Damn.
And that's why they're just there's 2 things. It makes them give a lot more kudos to anyone who's Cuban. They just think they're all amazing amateurs, and it's like, no, the best Cubans are amazing amateurs, and there's a lot of average amateurs because they have a lot of amateurs. And also, I think it's hurting them make superstars in America.
Yeah.
You know, people say AJ would have been the star wherever he would have been, and Hearn had an easy task. And there's a massive point with that because he won a gold medal in his home country.
Yeah.
Look at the huge stars they've had in America in the past. Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Foreman. The list goes on, like American gold medalists. It's a massive list, and most of their biggest A-sides have been Olympic gold medalists. So, you know.
Yeah. And
anyway.
The Wild Soul says Ortiz was undefeated when he fought Wilder. Yes, we know Wild Soul, but who had he beat? Who had Ortiz beat? You know what
Last time I checked, Joseph Parker was unbeaten. Brazil was unbeaten.
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
fought AJ. AJ
Charles Martin was unbeaten.
Dillian White was unbeaten. AJ's taken loads of unbeaten fighters O's.
AJ.
Wilder, not so much.
Not so much Wilder, I'm afraid. Not so much Wilder. Cruiserweight killer. And Ortiz. Ortiz killer.
There are a couple of super middleweights on his record, you know.
Oh my gosh, super middleweights. He even goes below cruiser. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. But you know what? We've run over time, long over time. Blimey, just touched the 3-hour mark. I'm not trying to do this for a long time. We're just here for a good time talking boxing. Boxing talk with Raphie, boxing and more. It's the first show of the new year. It's the first show of well, Soul says Wilder will decapitate Joshua. Who was he decapitated before? Why is Wilder not banging on Joshua's door, begging to unify, to get undisputed? Why is Wilder not doing that? Joshua says, you know where we are. Go watch the video after this. You know where we are. You know where
Raphie,
we are.
He has decapitated one person, Arthur Spilker, after Brian Jennings has already done it. Brian Jennings is a massive power puncher, isn't he?
So, yeah, please, guys. I love the LDBC coming in here, but you gotta do better. You've got to do better. Go check the video after this. It's out there. I take Wilder out in 6. So this is the first show of the new year. And it was great to have people jump on. People always jump on, but we had a big bunch of people. Big bunch of people jump on. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that the Twitter button. Yeah, it's been Boxing Talk with Raphie 82. We chopped up a whole bunch of onions, chopped and diced. We were joined by, I'm going by memory, we were joined by Big Boys Boxing Early Out. We were joined by John D. Lee, joined by Yardman, joined by The Watcher, joined by YG. First time over here in a speaking role. Yeah, everybody's welcome over here. Everybody, as you can see, welcome to come and give their own points of view, their own perspectives. We started off the new year right with the video announcing the confirmation that Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez is on. Just deciding the location. We talked about Gervonta Davis, according to Leonard Ellaby, being one of the biggest stars, whatever, fastest growing. What did he say exactly? I can bring that up. What did he say? Yeah, he said something or other. Yeah, fastest star, biggest attractions, whatever. Nonsense. Wilder doesn't need to beg. Joshua's chin is trashing. Well, if that's the case, if Joshua is so bad, then why the hell would Deontay Wilder have not been banging down his door? Why would he refuse the contracts? Why would he not go ahead and bang down the door and ask for a new contract? And sorry, he turned down the last one. You are crazy, but we love it. We love the craziness. You bring the crazy, and it is much appreciated. Thanks to everybody who jumped on the panel. Just mentioned them. Thank you to everybody who came for the first live show of 2020. I hope everybody has a healthy, prosperous 2020 and beyond. You have been in tune to Boxing Talk with Raphie 82. And thanks to everybody once again. Everybody who came and shared their time with us. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. I almost mispronounced that. But there's nothing left for me to say other than to wish everyone a happy, prosperous new year. And all that's left for me to say is blessed.